I'm
only
live,
put
by the
Patrick
way.
joins Nerf.
Yep.
And the AliExpress 3.0 clone. Is there anything else you wanted to add in? Because I'm kind of tired of talking about AliExpress, if I'm being honest, but I know we have to since they have the 3.0.
We have to because we haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
And they released new stuff that isn't 3.0.
Yeah.
Yep. One of my fine additions may be one of those things.
Oh.
It's not AliExpress that's bothering me. I just feel like every time I'm on something these days, or like we do a show, I feel like we always have to talk about AliExpress.
We have to.
They need to slow down a little bit.
AliExpress, Rancor. These are things that we have to bring up every episode.
Yep.
Hey, Wilbon. Hey,
Disaster.
Wilbon. Guess I just want to give you a 5-month warning, Wilbon, that you have to start getting your draft ready.
Get the draft.
You have to get the draft ready. You got 5 months, baby.
5 months. We can do one
5
sooner
months.
if you want.
No, June. We're doing it in June. That's
April would make more sense since it's the NFL draft.
Is that the NFL draft? Let's do it in
Yeah.
April then. All right.
All right, late April. It's a
Synergy.
It's normally like
Yeah.
April 25th or 6th. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
Get those
hold
random
on.
clicks.
I'll have to look. I might be out of town then. My work has me going to the country of Georgia.
Ooh, the South. Welcome to the South, brother.
No, the country of
Why are you
Georgia.
actually going to the country?
Because that's where a lot of the people that work for my company are based out of Georgia, because they were originally based out of Russia, and then when war broke out, they all moved to Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah, every time. I can't stop.
Georgia.
Yeah.
It's not that far away.
It's like, you guys moved to the United States? Wow.
That's awesome. It's so convenient for me.
Well, welcome to the Patreon intro. Patreon
Yeah.
members, we greatly appreciate your financial support of the show.
Just a heads up to you guys, and we're saying it just to you because it will not affect regular people. We will be having a special recording next Friday. It will be our next episode. It's not
With a
going
special
live. It's not going live until the week after, like a normal, but you guys will have it for a whole week earlier because our special guest, that's when he could do it. And when you have a special guest and they give you times that they can do it, you just work around it.
No hint?
That is we'll drop it.
We can drop it. It's just,
on the
it's
top
a little...
at the top of the show. We'll say it at the top of the show.
Why? Why can't we just say it now?
I don't know, because it'll build up like excitement. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't.
Yeah, give it a little build up.
I mean,
at
we're
least.
just sitting here.
yeah.
We're just
Come
sitting
on.
here yakking. We're just yakking. Like, we're just gonna yak.
We're gonna yak all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so they'll be able to join. They're going to be able to join us live, right? That's
Yeah.
We're
Oh yeah.
inviting
No,
them
it's
live still.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be a normal thing for our Patreon, the Patreon people in the cool tiers, to be live.
Should we open that to every Patreon member can join live?
No.
Or do you wouldn't just want to do the
Absolutely not.
normal
No,
11:38
still-
or above? Okay.
Still, we're giving them incentive. I don't want to bend on that too much because then, like, what's the point? Huh?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I like that.
You guys like Star Wars toys?
We love them.
No, I only collect G.I. Joe Classified.
Yeah, I only collect Dragon Ball Z these days.
That's fair.
See, look at that hair, Brady. Look
I actually just collect.
Got my dragon. Got my ball.
Got my balls.
yeah.
Got my
I
Z.
just collect risers, like acrylic risers. That's all I've been buying the last week is just acrylic risers.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Just have a shelf.
Just
A shelf of acrylic risers. You're like, yo,
This is the new 2024 acrylic
They're all
riser.
Force Ghosts.
It's the acrylic cantina.
That's right.
yeah. I love me some Happy Meal toys. I love the confusion the set always inevitably causes some people.
Though the worst part about calling them Happy Meal toys is that you don't even get some chicken McNuggets when you buy them.
That's
Like
true.
at least with a Happy Meal, you can get some French fries and a hamburger or something along with the toy. But when you buy TVC, you're just getting the shitty toy.
You know, as a troll,
Damn.
clip it.
I
Somebody,
wouldn't-
Okay, this is the Patreon.
Yeah, this is the Patreon. That's why I would say something like that. I would
Exclusive
never
portion.
say, yeah.
Hold on.
you know, should I troll and start buying that new like Epic Hero series they're doing, the 5 POA or whatever?
Oh, the 5 POA one? Let's do it.
Yeah,
You gotta do
I'm
it.
gonna
Let's
start
just
doing-
pivot.
Start doing that.
Let's pivot the whole thing over.
The whole podcast is changing to the
Yeah.
Epic Hero series. It'll be here for 2.5 years, and then
Yep.
it'll be gone. On to something new.
Ooh, Paragon Fuzz says special guest is a new Revenge of the Sith Anakin mold.
I wish.
That would be
but-
great.
Not possible.
But he spelled mold with the English way, which makes it official. That's how you know it's fancy.
Yeah. Look at that.
True.
Very
Mold.
fancy.
Mold.
They're just like, we like U's. We're going to put U's in things.
You know what? Why not? I feel like you is underutilized.
Wow.
Wow.
This guy.
This is why I'm here, everyone. This is what I bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, English people always add an extra letter, just like the word cancel.
Allure.
You know,
Rest-
overseas they have an extra L.
Color.
CANCLLED.
COLOUR.
Yep. Armor.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on. Let's talk about the pronunciation of aluminum. Okay, let's really go. into
You know
it.
what? So I heard the story about why that happened, and it's fascinating. And the fact that it's not fascinating even a little bit.
Well, yeah, dive in. Give us some details.
Oh, it just has to do with the guy that was writing the dictionary over there. Just got it wrong, like straight up. Like he just got it wrong, and they just stay with it.
So you're saying we're right? America's
Yes.
right?
America's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Of course. I mean, I knew that all along.
Yeah.
America's never wrong. If we're being honest.
That's us on Figure It Out.
For real, for real.
For real. For real.
That's us
Yeah.
on Figure
Hey,
It Out. We're not.
hey, I'm from the South. I love this country. Don't talk about my country like that.
That's
All
right.
right, Louisville.
I'm rising up again. The South
I'll
is
never
rising up
forget
again.
that Kokomo Toys trip. How was the drive from Louisville? And Zach almost
Louisville.
cracked our neck.
Like it
right there.
dragging
there.
us up.
Dude, he was ready to go.
It's-
ready to swing on us.
Well, you remember whenever you all came down here and the first truck you saw was like driving over the
It drove over the parking blocks just like
Pizza
Got
Hut,
my Pizza Hut.
the
like-
lifted truck with the rebel flag or whatever.
it's like, of course. It was exactly what needed to happen.
Welcome to the South, boys.
Yeah, that's right.
Surprised he
But
wasn't
other
rolling.
than that,
coal.
you know, Louisville was solid, right?
Yeah, yeah. Good
Well, you
food.
didn't really
Yeah, of
experience-
It's just like
You know what's weird? Oh, go ahead.
It's just like I allowed you to experience Portillo's. That one
That
day
shit was
where we
so good.
randomly
Mm.
met up.
Yeah, I was about to talk about that. The last time I've seen each of you, the other hasn't been there because I swung by your all's home city on the way home from Green Bay game,
Yep.
and then Nate was driving through from Gatlinburg, so he popped in like on my work lunch. We ate
Yeah.
downtown, so that was
And it was my work lunch.
yeah,
Literally-
your work lunch. So
Literally popped in because after that we popped a tire.
are you serious? You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, you didn't
it-
tell me that.
It slowly deflated all the way home for the rest of the way home. It was very inconvenient.
You know what was sad, even more sad that you popped a tire though? I was telling like some of the people at my work, like, yeah, like a friend is driving in and we're probably gonna eat lunch around like noon or so. And then like an hour and a half goes by. They're like, I don't think your friend's coming, buddy. I'm like, trust me, he's like 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
I promise. He goes to another school. You don't know him.
Yeah. I'm real. We pulled up.
So they probably think I just disappeared for an hour pretending I was eating with someone. And
All right.
Why not?
but yeah, it was
like-
a good time.
Yeah.
But now I need to see both of your faces together, like in person again. So we gotta do a Kokomo trip.
I forget
Even though there's
what it's
probably
like.
not a whole lot that I would buy right now, but
That's the I went to Target
Yeah.
today and I realized like I'm not looking for anything. There's literally nothing I
Yeah.
want to buy right now. It's
We-
kinda boring.
We actually swung into Kokomo Toys not too long ago because we were going to the like Christmas market
Yeah,
thing.
Kris Kringle Market.
And
How was it?
I mean, we both walked away empty-handed.
Yeah, which is like, you're right. There's just
Isn't that fun?
we're all caught up. You
Yeah,
know?
we're caught up.
Yeah. Well, they didn't even have like the latest Black Series
Yeah.
figures either, so it was kind of a little dry. And
You're still waiting for Ahsoka, bro. Oh my god.
Man.
yep,
Yeah.
dude.
I'm
And
actually just sacks of Mandalorian.
so
older ones.
I also slapped a pre-order on that Amazon listing, and still it hasn't moved once again. So I'm just stuck. Big Bad's not moving. Amazon's not moving. I just Padawan Ahsoka. I am just like striking out left and right, trying to get Padawan Ahsoka.
Should we all just go grab ours and show it off?
I mean,
I play with Justin's every time.
You all did this to me on the
every
channel.
time he comes over.
I'm good.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I deserve this.
hey, this is Nate's pose. At least I left it in Nate's pose
See,
All right.
because Nate's just a good poser.
that's a classic Nate. That's a
Nate's
classic.
poser.
That's a classic Nate
It's
pose right there.
Whenever Nate
Hey, where's
comes
yours at,
over,
buddy?
yeah.
It looks so good. She's gonna be a great figure.
Whenever I have Nate over at my house, I'm just like, pose my figures. Just go into my room and pose my figures.
Pose me, daddy.
Yep, it's one of my favorite things to do.
You just gotta watch action display.
Hold on.
usually
Hold on. Oh, I was gonna
it's
just
the
order
same.
off Hasbro Pulse for you, but it's sold out.
Yep. See, it's either sold out or the pre-orders are sold out literally on every single website. It's kind of
So
crazy.
is that one that you never pre-ordered initially, like day one, or were you just waiting?
No, that was a day one pre-order for me.
And it still hasn't shipped?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
For whatever reason, from Big Bad, I just never got the shipping. And then recently it went up on Amazon, and I slapped another pre-order on that, and now that's not moving either.
Man.
Oh no. Now Wilbon is saying, Nate, look at your PO box.
Yeah. That's my territory though. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
it's closer to me than it is.
That's
to Nate.
true.
So I'm the PO box checker of the channel.
So he's gonna go. He opens it and then sees if it's anything good, and if it's not, he
Just tosses it in the
and hands it to Nate.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, technically, it used to be in the city Justin lived in, so it was super duper convenient.
Yeah. True.
But, I suppose, Wilbon, does that mean I should probably cancel some things? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a little vague there, Wilbon. It's a little
Yeah.
vague.
Be less vague, Wilbon.
Tell me
I hope-
exactly.
I hope
what
he's
it
just
is.
fucking around with you. I hope he does.
Don't vague bond.
Yeah, right. I'm like,
More fun.
yeah, dude.
Nate's canceling every pre-order right now.
Imagine that.
So, Mike,
I
are you going
refuse
to go
to
to
be less vague.
ICC Con this year?
No, God, no.
Coward.
So far away.
But you almost came last time.
I did, and then I realized it was so far away.
You're going to a different country,
That's for work.
and ICC is
Get him,
too
mate.
far away. Oh, it's
Get
for
him.
work. It's
Work
for
is
work.
Work is paying for
spit.
that.
You can't take a weekend off to come hang out with
Do
your
you wanna
bros.
All
pay
you need is
for
a
it?
Friday and a Monday.
Do you want to pay for it?
I know that you can afford it. I've seen the checks from Hasbro. Okay,
Though
They're
I
coming in.
and now you're making me say this on stream, Mike.
my CPA told me not to talk about those.
I'm sorry, but the people have to know. Okay.
I've seen the checks. They say thanks for the shilling. Here's
Yep.
$3,000.
Yeah, and Zach, you don't get a cut of that or what?
And then no, it's
Not a
it's
single-
all me.
not a single penny.
I'm the-
What? Why do you think? Why do you think Mike has a Unicron? That's all I can. That's all I can say.
yes,
Hey.
yeah. I bought Unicron way back in 2019.
No, you didn't.
Okay,
I mean, he also did buy the original Chrysanthemum for retail. So
I did.
True,
God,
I did.
that is one can of worms
And-
you don't open with Mike.
Mike.
It-
With your
you know what? It's fine.
with your with your.
that's why I brought
You recently took down a bunch of figures.
I did.
Is that chrysanthemum still on the shelf?
Hey, wait, that's main show
it's
stuff.
not.
That's a main show thing. That's a main.
Yeah, I will. I'll
okay.
tell you. That's a great question
Okay.
to ask.
Okay.
That's a great question to ask in the main show for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
I got you.
We'll do that right before Fine Editions or right after.
I mean, that could be my fine addition.
Okay, yeah. Well, whenever you're doing it, we can get into that. All
It
right.
is removing.
So you'll go last. We'll make you go last.
Yeah,
on
go.
Editions then.
Yeah,
So
because
then
I
loop
don't
into
have
that.
anything really, so
Okay,
it's
perfect.
fine. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm ready to. You all ready to start the main show? We're gonna kick you all off. We're gonna.
Yeah. And then we're not going to bring you back on. We're just going to make you
Yeah.
watch from.
You're to say
Hell
watching
yeah.
from the green.
All right.
room.
I'm down.
Oh God,
It's all
it's
you.
so nice. It's so nice when we have a nice, quiet show. Nothing really to talk about, like no news. The collector community didn't fall apart over the last 2 weeks. It's nice.
Yeah, it seems like lately the community's just been, everybody seems like they're on the same page, enjoying the
Everyone's
reels
holding
and
hands.
all that, right?
Yeah,
There's no
yes, I don't-
toxicity going on.
No, I don't know what we're going to talk about this episode, but welcome to Black Series Cantina 64, Super Cantina Bros. And I racked my brain trying to think of a Nintendo 64 like type name. And thanks to our pals who may or may not be on the show, we all kind of collectively just threw out stuff.
We had a
until-
brainstorming session.
We had a
for
brainstorm
like 5
session.
minutes there.
Yeah. So, Super Cantina Bros, I felt was appropriate. So,
that's
we got a pretty good show to talk about today. Actually, if you don't listen to the crap that we just said, where we were joking around about not having things to talk about, spoiler alert, we have things to talk about.
We have a lot to get through. We have plenty
Yeah, it's
to
true.
get through. But first, I did kind of want to talk about how awesome was our show last episode with Robo joining us. I thought that was fantastic.
Robo?
We got a lot of good feedback on it too.
Fantastic. What a nice guy. I was going to joke about how he was a diva off camera and just,
Behind the scenes, terrible.
Behind the
Yeah, he was.
scenes, yeah.
He was roasting my setup,
No one knows the real Robo.
except
And
for
maybe
us.
they really don't. Except for us. We know the real
Except
Robo.
for us.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, big shout out to Robo for joining us last episode. That was a fantastic chat about toys.
Fantastic. Yep.
One of our favorite guests. But before we get going with the guests we have on today's episode of Black Series Cantina, we want to make a special announcement at the top of the show here. So next Friday, which is February 9th, we're going to be going live for our...
Well, we're going to be going live to Patreon.
That's what I'm saying. I'm plugging
Okay.
the Patreon with it.
I get what
Next-
you're doing.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
I see what
You
you're
see
doing.
now.
You're using this as an advertisement for Patreon. I get
you
it.
have to think about this through a marketing
Oh,
standpoint. That's
I
what
didn't even
that's
think
what I
about
learned
that.
from Patrick from watching
Oh, man.
him on the live stream all the time.
So smart.
Next Friday, we're going to be going live with a very special guest. That guest is going to be Yak Face, of all people.
Yes. Yep.
And he has a lot to get off his chest, so we figured it'd be the perfect time
Just
to
give
talk
him,
about Black Series and collecting, because if everybody knows who follows him anyways, he's posted some kind of cryptic stuff on his Instagram. Maybe he's not too happy, so I think it'll be fun to work through all that and chat about that. So Friday, February 9th, our Patreon members who are in the $11.38 tier will be able to join us live
or higher.
or higher. Yeah, the VIPs as well. But for everyone else, the main podcast will drop the following week for our normal schedule. So if you want to join the Patreon and join us live that episode, you can sign up by then and you'll be able to be in the live chat and ask him questions potentially and hang out live and not have to wait a week for the show to drop.
That's right. We're gonna have 2 Yak Face and a microphone. Where it's at. That's what
Keep going. I like it. Keep going.
Oh my God, that's all I had. It's literally all I had. I just
That's all
had
you
that
had?
one phrase. Yeah.
So next week,
A yak
Face
attack.
will be joining
Yeah,
Black
that's
Series
good.
Cantina for the first time, and that's going to be fantastic. But for now,
Well,
We
it's
are
about
joined
time.
by-
We've talked about him. Hold on. We've talked about him like every episode we've ever done. There's like 3 things we talk about. 100% brand new Anakin Skywalker, the Rancor, and Yak Face. And I think Yak Face is going to be interesting because, while I appreciate Yak Face as a person, as a collector, he's done things and said things I don't agree with, and I am not.
Well, yeah,
and you can look
specifically
forward to this.
the rank core.
Yeah, that.
campaign.
Yeah. You could go back and I've said a lot of things, and I just want to say, and you can hold my feet to the fire here. I am not going to sugarcoat this. I'm not going to fangirl. He's just a collector, just like we are collectors, and I'm not going to softball questions or be like, oh no, man, it's so cool to have you. Like I want to have a real conversation with him. And I think that's going to be fun, but obviously in good taste and all in good fun.
Yes,
Like I'm not going to be like mean or rude. I'm not mad. I like the guy, it's, but I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a podcast that nobody wants to miss. So definitely be sure you tune in for that one. But first,
But we had a sandwich. We had a Robo and a yak sandwich. But right now we're in that juicy, yummy,
juicy
middle.
middle.
We're in the filling.
the nice
That's right.
medium middle.
That's
And
right.
so hopefully nothing goes drastically crazy, because the last time Out of the Basement Boys were on, and the time before that, something happens. So we're gonna hopefully avoid
Someone's
that.
house burns down, or someone gets stuck in a Darth Vader helmet.
Yeah, somebody's overcooking some food somewhere. Like, we don't know what's going on. But
A lot of things that can happen.
bring on Nate and Justin from Out of the Basement.
Yo,
Welcome.
What's up?
Welcome,
Hi.
boys.
Thanks for having us.
Are you nervous because you're kind of in between Robo and Yak Face? Like,
Well, I was gonna say, like, what an honor! What an honor to be
I
seen.
feel like you've had both of them on your show. It's not that big of a deal.
True, but I still love them.
That's true.
I still love them.
Yeah,
we're kind
they're
of
still
on like
legends.
we're on like a murderer's row of guests right now. We have amazing guests 3 weeks in a row.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
A nice turkey of guests.
That's right.
Yeah, but thanks for having us on. Super excited. I'm excited to be on someone else's thing for a change, because you guys have been on
Excitebite?
Lazy Sunday so many times.
Oh, that's true. Are you Excitebite 64? Is that?
Yeah, I am.
I'm just going for some more Nintendo 64.
I really liked Shadow of the Cantina. That was
That was
a good
Luke's.
one.
That was a really good one. Yeah. That was really good.
I wanted it to have the number 64 in there though, so it's like a more specific reference.
right.
That one was good though. I liked Shadows of the Cantina.
Yeah.
But so we got to count how many 64 references Mike's gonna make. Right? We're up to like 2. or
Honestly,
3 now.
that's about it. That's all I got.
Is that it?
How about Mario Kartina 64?
Kartina. I like it.
That's a good
I
one.
like it.
That's a good one.
I like it. But before we get going, so thank you all for joining. And I did kind of want to ask you all at the top of the show, how are you all kind of feeling about Black Series lately? Are you on a high? Are you kind of in the middle, or are you pretty down after that fan stream?
Oh,
Nate, you
we're
wanna
just gonna go on our thoughts on the fan stream right away. We're just gonna bring that out.
Well, that's like an overall Black Series question. We'll
Just
dive
how
into
we
the
feel. How's the
toxicity
vibe?
later? Yeah,
How's the vibe? Vibe check. We're gonna vibe check you.
All right, vibe check is overall, I think the line is still in a great place. I think character selection is improving this year. We're going to be seeing a lot of awesome prequel stuff that we've waited a long time for, like the Super Battle Droid, like the Droidica. So for me, it's like we're finally getting stuff that we've been waiting so long for. So I personally am still very excited for the line and for all of the figures, even though there are definitely some misses here and there. But I feel like that's always been a thing. There's the line has always had figures that have varied in certain qualities.
Yeah, no line is perfect. Even lines that are like higher scale lines, like Hot Toys. Like Hot Toys is far from perfect.
Right. I mean, even like other, import figures, there's QC issues, stuff that plagues just action figures in general. But yeah, I'm really still feeling the line, even though I have Balin and Shin right now, and they're just sitting in their boxes because I just don't want to open them. I'm just like I opened
I've had them for weeks. I've had them for
Yeah.
weeks. I'm not the motivation just isn't there.
Justin got them for me a while ago, and I just cannot bring myself to open them. I opened the Pike Soldier, and I've been having a decent time with the Pike, but it's just something about Balin and Shin. I'm like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, when you guys were making your joke at the beginning of the show, like there's nothing controversial going on. Everyone's on the same page. I was thinking in my head, like, oh, what a like no better time to have us on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we have our little inside, well, not really an inside joke, but our shill squad joke that, you know, we're the positivity police and everything has to be positive.
Yeah.
But it is true that there was some pretty consistent negative reaction to the latest fan stream. And I feel like, as always, our take at Out of the Basement was pretty positive. I can't help it. I see that destroyer droid. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And I really feel like the stream was perfectly sold, like as is, you know, like it.
She said at the beginning.
All right, Jing said at the beginning, like, don't expect too much. The stream was only announced like a few days beforehand. So I really just have a hard time like wrapping my head around the whole controversy of like, you know, oh, this is it. But it's also the beginning of the year. And almost every single year, the beginning of the year is a drought. Like, we know this.
We were saying the same thing last year during the great drought. I know Lane Speeder Luke is a good buddy of all of ours. And he was like, yeah, I didn't record a review for like 4 or 5 months there. Like there was also a drought last year.
Yep.
Yeah, just today I was looking through my Entertainment Earth order history, like trying to download all the receipts for the tax write-off coming up. And oddly enough, I was like, everything that shipped from January to like late March, it was all Dragon Ball Z stuff, like no Black Series from Entertainment Earth in that time span. And like 3.5 months of nothing. No Star Wars stuff shipped to me from Entertainment Earth, at least. So yeah, it was a drought, and I was just happy just to see the Droideka, which we'll dive into a little deeper later. But once I saw the Droideka and like even the clone on the Phase 1 body, like that's enough for me. I didn't need anything else. I don't need pipelines. I don't need like Thrawn is cool, but he's so far away. Like I'm not even thinking about him. But the Droideka
There's some questionable stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let's put a pin in this and bring it back at the end. I feel like we've got a spot here for community reaction to fan stream at the very end, and we're getting a little bit past vibe check, and I'm just trying to rein it in.
It's just so easy.
I'm just gonna rein it in.
It's so easy to get going on it.
I know, that's why I wanted to wait, but it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. We got our bros. Check. We got our boys. We did our vibe check. Our vibe check is it's pretty good, I guess.
All right, well, Mike, how about you actually kick us off on fine additions and talk about your fine subtractions?
I thought I was going to do it at the end, but okay.
Well, I think we should do it first. I think we should do yours.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about this.
So my latest fine additions is I did get an extra Sabine. I'm not going to pull her out because I've had Sabine on the show before, but I bought her for her thighs. Which is It's a weird phrase. It's a weird way to say that. But
I've had her on the show before. I got her for the thighs.
I got her for the thighs. I got her to fix my shin, which is weird because I don't need her shins. I need her thighs. But I also wanted to get a better helmet than the one mine came with, and it did. Which is weird though, because the first one I got from Amazon, the package was missing the helmet completely. Like it just wasn't in the package, and it wasn't open. Like I'm pretty good at being able to tell if someone tampered with the tape or whatever. It was not open. It was just missing the helmet. But then so I swapped it. You know, Amazon just sent a replacement out, and I mailed that one back. And the new one I got is great. The helmet's a lot better. So I can't wait to rip apart those legs and fix my shin. And that's all I've got going on for Black Series. Other than that, I decided that I wanted my shelves to be more presentable. They were too crowded. Things were falling over, and I just wasn't happy with them. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. So I started going through my shelves, and I decided, you know, we've got new Clone Trooper molds. We've got new Stormtrooper molds. There's just a bunch of older figures from like 2017, 2016, 2018 that I just don't want in my collection anymore. And yes, a lot of them are sequel trilogy because that's kind of what was happening at the time. And it has nothing really to do with the fact that they're sequel trilogy figures, and more to do with the fact that the line just kind of sucked. Also, on top of
Dark
the
times,
movies,
for
the movies not being well received for some people. The figures also
Most people.
really they just weren't really good. They weren't very good figures as toys. So a lot of them are coming out. I will say Nate called me out for pulling out Constable Zuvio.
Mm-hmm.
So he is back in my collection, and he is on my brand new. That is something I got actually. I should have taken a picture of it and posted it, but I did get my Jabba's Cantina Palace that Zach 3D printed me for Christmas, all glued together. I opened up my brand new Jabba and got him all set up on there, and then put the old one because there was a slight color difference, and I like the darker colors on the new one than. I don't know if mine were just lighter colors and all of them were lighter colors, or if it just been sitting out and kind of faded a little bit. Either way, I like the darker colors on the newer one a little bit better. But it looks good. But as you can see from this picture here, I had to take a lot of toys off of my shelves. Most of them are like 1.0 clone molds, 1.0 Stormtrooper molds. I took off the Obi-Wan and the Mace from the 2003 Clone Wars show because I don't need multiple Clone Wars versions of those characters. And I'm just gonna say it, that Obi-Wan just sucks. It's a bad figure.
I know you love baiting people.
I do, and I put him right on top specifically,
I know.
and took this picture because I knew it would trigger people.
Well, look at the blush on that, like just from
It's
this
so
photo where it's like far away. Look at that red rosy cheek.
It's there's so many reasons why this General Kenobi figure is bad. That body that he's on is terrible. The head, while the sculpt is great, the blush on the cheeks is terrible. And as Nate pointed out, it's the wrong head. He should 100% have his episode 2 head on there because he had a mullet.
Yep. Could you imagine though if they did a 3.0 clone body with the correct head?
I'm
the first one to pre-order.
I would. Yeah.
I would cry tears of joy. The 2D Clone Wars stuff is great.
But I don't know why people just go crazy for this figure. Like the idea of the figure is what they love. And they fool themselves into thinking they really like the figure. But I don't want to say that because I don't want to tell someone how they feel about something. Hey, listen, if you like this figure, it's fine. But I just don't see it. It's not for me.
You think maybe people like it because it's hard to find?
Could be. It was a Walgreens exclusive and there was no pre-orders or anything at the time. And yeah.
If we're being honest, how much did I get it for at ICC Con? $50 or $60? Because that guy had no clue what it was worth. So I was like,
yeah, I think you paid like 50.
I might have paid 50 for it, I think. And I kind of only wanted it because it's kind of hard to find, rare, worth a good amount of money. And I didn't have it. I kept it in the box and it was like a pristine sealed box. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to get this for sure.
3D Clone Wars Obi-Wan is just so much better.
It's such a better
still one of my favorite figures in the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've spent the last week or so, 2 weeks, just kind of culling down my collection and redoing it to make my shelves more fun to look at for me. It's not as I don't know, stressful when I see just a mess of things falling over and I don't like it. It wasn't fun. It did not spark joy. So I've been removing things to spark that joy.
I like it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go ahead and go for the fine editions next because I have 2 items. I was at the store, Target, and I picked up the Iron Man Mark II.
Ooh, tempting.
I was gonna pre-order it, never did, and then I was like, I'm sure I'll pick it up on clearance someday, or I'll see it in the store. Saw a couple of them at Target, so decided to pick it up. So that's cool. And then This is the big one. I've been waiting for this for so long, it seems like. This is the Super Saiyan Gohan with the Ghost Goku from the end of the Cell battle.
Nice.
The packaging is just so pretty. I don't want to take it out, but at the same time, I'm going to because you can't even see the Goku.
You can't even see Goku in that.
I know, yeah, that's the issue. But I haven't opened it yet, but you can see like the figures on the back.
Watch, there's no Goku in there. It's
Sick.
like a.
Right.
Yeah, how are you supposed to know what's in there? Really, Bandai?
There could be a
it's a
banana
really-
in there.
It's a Rose Tico.
There really could be banana in there. Yeah. I gotta shake it
A1
to see if
fake
I can hear
sauce.
it.
That's a bottle of hot sauce.
Yep.
I can hear it.
Or it's like a knockoff, like somebody cut the tape and replaced it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Nice,
so that's exciting.
nice.
No Star Wars for me this week. Those are the only 2 items. So
Dang.
now it's the Out of the Basement Boys' turn for Fine Editions. Justin, you have anything?
Let's go. So, I mean, I'll just show off some of the stuff that I recently acquired.
Mm-hmm.
So let's show off something I do like, the Pike Soldier.
Ooh.
Nice.
GameStop over here in the US, they've been going crazy with getting the 2 current waves in stock. Got a Nate pose here.
There you go. A simple yet effective pose.
Yep. It's a good figure. I just wish they would paint the weapons. They need to go back to casting it in black and then doing a bit of dry brushing on the
Yep.
weapons.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That would
I also
add so
really
much
wish-
value.
It came with an alt face plate,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a bronze colored one.
For sure.
Oh yeah. Then we got Balin and Shin.
Yo.
Shin's kind
So,
of dark. It's crazy.
Yeah. I did find these at GameStop as well. Both orange blades from Hasbro. However, Cubic 3D Prints, who's been making the package rounds of sending all his blades and stuff to select content creators, I did replace them with the more translucent orange blades and the correct height for Balin. Just looks so much better.
Mhm.
Yep. That's great.
I don't have figures to do the fancy land speeder Luke operation on, so I still, on the hexagon stands, I just have Balin on the level above just to make it sort of look like he's not so short.
Riva is $13 on Big Bad Toy Store again.
Something
I'm
about
going to need to do that.
something about the principle of like spending money to fix
To make
the
it how it
figure.
should be.
Yeah, like even like $13. That's like, okay, that's almost a $38 Balin
Mm-hmm.
instead of 25. I don't.
Hey, I decided to go all out. Now that getting those orange things, the orange sabers from whatever.
Yeah.
I bought what is it? Josh's custom capes for them. I bought whatever figures I needed to do the swap. Like I'm gonna make these the figures they should have been, and I decided I didn't care how much money it cost.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point because the characters were so nice in
Yeah.
Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like I love those characters so much that to
Yep.
me
yeah,
it's
worth
to
it.
spend that money. Yeah.
I feel that.
this isn't a recent pickup, but I do just want to point out that I have the Padawan Ahsoka, and Nate doesn't.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, me too. That's
so weird.
crazy. That's crazy.
Thank you.
that Nate
Thank you,
doesn't have
guys.
it yet.
Let's see.
Real mature. Real mature.
I can't wait to see where it lands on his 2024 top 10.
Well, it's already number 2 on our top 10 of 2023.
No.
Yeah.
Are you guys talking about this one right here?
That's the one. That's the one.
That's
To
so
be
weird.
fair, I did play with it. So I have, messed around with it. So,
That's
Yes,
almost
if you're
even
a-
worse because now you
you're
know
a-
how great of a figure it is. It's not on your shelf.
yeah.
If you're a Black Series Cantina patron, you can see Nate's exclusive Ahsoka pose right here.
I appreciate it.
I
Exclusive.
decided that if a figure could not hold a lightsaber and put it on their belts, I was going to do that on my collections because I'm tired of things falling over and losing lightsabers.
Breaking.
Yes.
But other than that, like we were talking about earlier, there's not really anything to look for in the realm of Black Series. We are completely caught up. It's a good feeling. I
Mhm.
think it's a good feeling to be completely
But it's a
caught up.
sad feeling. I
Yeah.
want more stuff.
So I've just been going crazy on these. These are the hexagon stands by Landspeeder Luke. I am into 3D printing. So I also have my lights on in my room, which if you watch our streams, you know that I never have the light on, so you can actually see all my figures in the back.
Look at that. Look how beautiful that is.
And you can
Look
tell
at that.
I've been doing the project of hexagon standing my entire collection. I'm not done yet.
How many
Actually-
hex stands can you print with one spool? Because I need to buy some more black before I get going on those. I'm gonna start
Yeah,
doing a deep
'cause-
dive on these probably.
Like this single, the one that's taller and the one that's shorter, they're only separate because the Billy bookcase, it's not a perfect fit, so I have to print a couple individual ones. But
Mhm.
honestly, I couldn't tell you because I had so many spools of black and I was just going insane for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. I wasn't really keeping count. It is kind of a filament eater, honestly. Like
Yeah.
in my experience, like when I
That's
made
one of the things that's held me off of going hard on those. Right.
like
now.
when I made the Tantive 4, it was probably like less than a spool of white, maybe
Yeah.
one spool, but that's for like
Yeah,
a whole.
it's not even really a full-
singular diorama.
Yeah, that
piece.
up there at the top.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's worth it. I'm not gonna do it for all my shelves, but you know, for like the clones and like Imperials, I'm going for that. Probably gonna do a video on that when I'm done. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm caught up.
What are you going to do any dioramas soon anymore? Are you eyeing the Imperial Bridge, Star Destroyer Bridge?
Yeah, I swear, Landspeeder Luke, he makes me contemplate like only collecting OT, just so I can, you know, free up all this Billy bookcase space and do OT dioramas. Like there's a small part of me where every time Luke drops another dio, I'm like, oh. And the Imperial Star Destroyer Bridge was a big one. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was thinking about the last time I was on the show. I was actually living at my mom's last time I was on the show. And now I'm in my own place, which comes with a whole collection
yeah.
room. So I billied it out. I got 3 big old Billy bookcases from IKEA. And I still feel like I need more room. So it's like I need a basement.
It's a never-ending game.
I straight up need a basement.
Well, yeah, and then you get a basement, and then your wife's like, "Nope, your Star Wars stuff stays in your room," and it's like, what's a basement
Yeah.
even for?
Oh no, I mean it's super dope to get. I mean we all have it. We all have our own little dedicated room just for the collection. It's super awesome to have, but I still feel like I don't have room for like all these dioramas that I want to do. So maybe eventually, but I think the hexagon stand solution is like holding me over.
Yeah.
All right, Nate.
So I do want to jump in real quick because
Oh,
Justin
snap.
reminded me. So big shout out to Cupid 3D Prints and Anna Priest for hooking us up with the Balin and Shin sabers, and then an extra green one, and then some of the I got a red and blue holocron. I kind of told him I was just throw some random stuff in there for me. So these red and blue holocrons will live on the Doc Ondar
That's where mine are.
display
Yeah.
that I printed from Landspeeder Luke.
I got those. I actually lost. Nate was over and he was like, "Where's Cal Kestis's holocron?" I was like, "Oh no, where is his holocron?" So if it fell over, I mean, I vacuum pretty frequently, so it might just be gone. Hopefully, it's just in a little
Carbon Monster
accessory
got
bin.
it.
Yeah, hopefully. I do have mostly, actually, pretty much all Star Wars stuff. Pike Soldier,
Yeah.
pretty good figure. Not great. This plastic skirt kind of ruins things.
Yeah, you can't do a kneeling.
Yep, can't hit that kneeling pose, and that is a big. It's a big
No,
L.
a shooter. Yeah.
It's a big L.
Landspeeder Luke's out there fuming right now that you're saying the plastic
And
comma is not good.
Dude, he's hilarious.
I know.
honestly, like sometimes I do agree with him, but on this particular figure, I think we could have got some softies on that. And then I did snag an Amazon warehouse deal. Endor Rebel. Look at the
I like it.
unbelievable.
How much was that?
I'm sorry I missed that. Honestly, I would have loved to have an extra one, but I don't want to spend $33 on it.
It was 25, which
Yeah, that's a great deal.
I felt like was pretty good for wanting another one, and I was hoping to have it by the time we were doing this, but I also bought a spare Greedo, so I'm gonna do a full. I'll do a full swap
Nice.
with this one.
You get
And-
hands too.
So I'm kind of conflicted on the hands because I was looking at the Battlefront screenshot, and he has like the regular gloved hands. Like he doesn't have,
Rhodians have
Right.
fingers.
but like if I'm going for like the Battlefront look, they didn't like
I
make
guess.
the fingers longer in the game. They just
Battlefront is wrong.
It's like
Right.
the same
Battlefront's
logic as
canon,
Hasbro.
technically.
Or,
Well,
he like bends his fingers
I
in
mean,
half to go into the gloves.
since I'm gonna have a spare, I think I'll at least try it or at least see how
Yeah.
it looks. You know.
See how it looks. Send me a picture.
Right.
Are you going to commit to painting the neck, though? Or
I was thinking about what I could do to hide the neck, and I was
you
thinking,
could get
maybe-
like a...
Scarf.
I was thinking,
some figure had to have a scarf somewhere.
yeah, I have a bunch of different little accessories and stuff, and I could even take a scarf off of one of the many Endor
Put like the Endor jet.
or Hoth rebels.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I liked that. $25. Someone returned this for this little bend.
Oh no!
This is
My
box
card
collectors,
is abandoned
dude.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Pays to be an opener, so
It has a crease in it.
Rip it.
Ooh, live on.
Oh, I
the
love that.
episode.
That's a satisfying rip right there.
FOMO Grail purchase that I showed off on our stream, but this is the SH Figuarts Yoda with the chair.
So pretty.
So
Hold
good.
on. Is there no window in that? How do you even know what's in it?
I know. Actually, who knows what could be in here?
Anything could be in there. It could be a bottle of hot sauce.
All right.
A banana, A1.
I have
I'm just
no.
recycling the exact same joke as
It's funny.
Dragon Ball
I
thing.
can't. Let's.
It is funny, but we chose the exact same objects.
All right. Let's see what's inside, guys. I totally didn't do anything, and you
Just
didn't.
rip it open.
You didn't hear anything.
Yeah, just rip the box.
Just rip it. Just rip the whole box.
Wait.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
What?
Oh no!
What?
He got toilet
What? There's
paper.
Toilet paper in
You
there?
just have toilet paper on your desk.
Yeah, it's my quick
And lotion.
Kleenex. Yeah, and lotion. No, it's for when I blow my nose.
Hey,
I
that's a
have-
premium product in 2020. If you got an action figure came with toilet paper,
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Like Luke. I almost said Lance.
Look at
Peter.
that. That's like 2 Yoda figures in there. All they had to do was give you 1 extra body.
It is a little infuriating how like close it can come to giving you 2 Yodas,
Yeah.
but it's still awesome. What an amazing set. And then the last pickup here is from Vale's Toy Store. It's a custom. And this is one that is not canon, but this is the 13th Battalion something or other.
Or commander or
I bought this because I liked the pauldron, and this comma is something new and different. It's actually a soft plastic. This figure is still on the 2020 body though.
It's
And
basically garbage.
yeah, it's pretty much worthless in Mike's eyes
Yep.
now that he despises all Vale's Toy Store.
Already outdated. Why even bother? You might as well just throw it away.
I mean, Hasbro's still releasing that mold though with the Mace Windu clone.
That is
I
true,
thought the
Mike.
Mace-
You
it
can't buy
not-
that
it-
set anymore. You got to cancel that.
Is it 2.0 and not 3?
Yeah, the
It
Mace
is.
Windu one's 2.0. The
Oh,
3.0 is
Squeeze it in there.
the Ahsoka show two
Yeah.
pack.
Then I'm just gonna
Yeah.
toss
Free.
it. I'm gonna
Right.
take the Mace Windu and just throw the Mace away. Throw the clone
That's a
away.
$60 mace.
It's a $40 mace.
So
50
It's 40.
I just wanted to check it out for the comma.
after tax. Sorry, Nate. We're just having an argument and on the side show here.
I don't
I
care
know.
about your comment, Nate.
down for that.
I'm gonna win this argument.
Bro, Pulse Premium. Oh my god.
Yeah, Mike's shook.
Right.
Watch me pay shipping again. I'm sticking it to the man.
Just saying.
So speaking of,
Yeah. Let's talk about Veils. Let's finish. We're transitioning from fine editions into the first bit of news that we're going to talk about.
Let's do it.
Let's
and
go.
that first bit of news is, of all places, AliExpress Veals Toy Store, who's the retailer who is repainting these clones and making these quote unquote customs from Hasbro's molds. They somehow have a 3.0 body already. I did not expect it to be so soon. Are you all in the same boat? Like, I didn't expect them to get it for another 4 years and then maybe we'd get 3.0. But this was insanely quick.
Yeah, I agree. It was really quick.
I'm not surprised that it's this fast because, like, obviously, if the molds exist and there's already unscrupulous things happening over there,
Probably the same factory.
it probably is. It's probably the exact same factory.
It's the night shift.
But what gets me, obviously, the ARF Trooper is cool or whatever because, like, Hasbro doesn't make that. But the regular Phase 2 clone, okay, why? It is only $2 cheaper than just buying an official Hasbro one. It doesn't come in a fancy, nice, case you can display it in or box or whatever. And the helmet isn't removable with a painted head. So it's like on every level, this is a worst product for like $1 cheaper.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that the first one on the 3.0 body they dropped is a blank clone that Hasbro also just dropped. Like, they should have at least done some type of canon, rank.
That was kind of the draw to the Veils clones, is they're doing ones that you kind of know that Hasbro isn't going to do. Like the name front and like the Legion. Yeah.
Hasbro's never going to give us a lot of that stuff, or if they do, it's not anytime soon. But I don't.
And it'll be one-off type things. It's not going to be because Veils, whenever they did the Wolfpack, they did 4 different versions.
Or like
all
the
bam, 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 bam.
The Apo that they did give us is literally just a 501st clone. Like, it's not specifically Apo like from the Clone Wars or anything with the arrow. Like, it's not identifiably Apo,
Yeah.
So it was a weird choice. I wonder if Hasbro chose that just specifically because Veils did it, and they're like, well, we could do an Apo too, I guess. Like, that's weird. So I understand people wanting to get stuff they can't get or probably won't get from Hasbro, but the prices keep creeping up. When they first started doing these, they were like $18 and then kind of went up to like $20, $22. Now we're up to $23, $24. And like at some point we're gonna be the same boat that Hasbro is.
Yeah. Did anybody order the ARF Trooper?
No.
I didn't either. No.
Yeah.
I think it's not like the helmet design is cool, but it's not out there enough for me. I feel like they need to start getting into the crazier ones, like the camo ones from Battlefront and Clone Wars before I get back on the ARF Troopers.
My Clone Wars shelf overfloweth. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this purge. And I took out all the 1.0 bodies. Like, I'm not taking out 2.0 bodies because I feel like they're still good, but anything 1.0 is just not staying on my shelf anymore. Just because honestly, it's legitimately a bad figure.
Yeah.
But I just can't with Veils toys anymore. And again, I don't care that they're stealing anything from him. Like, I don't care about the legality issues. Like, I do not care. I'm not trying to defend the honor of a multi-billion-dollar company. I'm not doing that. Like, I don't care about that. I just think that all the complaints people have about Hasbro, like, this isn't that far off anymore.
Yeah, and when you look at the prequel era shelf, it's too white.
Yeah.
It's too much white. And I love
right there.
I love the clones, and I will buy every single clone that comes out in the Black Series. But with the Veils Toy Store ones, it just got overwhelming to the point where it's too many clones. Like, after the named like 501st Grunts and then like Waxer and Boyle, I tapped out because I'm like, I really like those. I got those. I'm just gonna get the Hasbro ones from now on because it's too much white.
You
Which
didn't
is
get
why-
The only
any,
ones
did you get any of the
might get,
Wolfpack ones?
I might get the Wolfpack ones just because I do have Wolf, and it would be good to have some Wolfpack. But still,
I still, even though they're on the 2.0, and I'll kind of pull them up, I feel like the Wolfpack ones are must-haves for the shelf because I have a lot of 2.0
cool.
still, and like just the helmet designs is absolutely absurd.
well, it's
Now,
nice
if
to
they
give them a nice
did
little
those-
squad too. Yeah,
If they did those on the 3.0,
They need to do these
I'd
on
buy
the
it.
3.0. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care if they beat Hasbro to it. I'm rebuying all of these.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that get me though are the people that they swing too far to the other side, like with the hyperbole, like, oh man, Vales is really showing up Hasbro. Like they're not. Like they're objectively not.
They sold
Like, all they-
138 that off the webpage that you just pulled up. That's like something that it's one of those comments where I'm like, oh, okay, guys, like they sold 138 of this new one. Okay,
Right.
that is nothing compared to the volume that Hasbro or Jazzwares or Mattel or McFarlane, that's like tens of thousands. of
They make
units.
10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50,000s of these. And Vales is like, oh yeah, we made like 200. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and like you were saying about the legality of it all.
Yeah.
That's kind of Hasbro's issue. Like I honestly really don't care
Yeah.
about it.
Agreed. It's
That's Hasbro's issue to deal with. So if they keep pumping them out. If they pump out like some 3.0 clones that go hard, I'm probably buying. So, but I am just getting a little tired of talking about AliExpress.
Yeah.
Also.
But
It
also
seems like-
it's a whole store. Like they don't make toys. They produce them, but they don't make them, if that makes sense. Like nothing they've done is like wholly originally something that's theirs. They just take things that already exist and just kind of change them a little bit. Like there's no real creativity there. There's no real work there. Without Hasbro, they wouldn't have anything. They're not going to be making
Or Sideshow, because they've graduated
or
to
Sideshow. Yeah,
stealing Sideshow head sculpts. as well.
exactly. Yeah.
No.
Well, hopefully they can steal the Clone Wars Anakin mold and
Steal
then
some
put him
better
on the
stuff.
speeder.
Bales, steal some better stuff.
Yeah, they need to start getting into some cooler stuff,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Also, like the clones is cool, but let's get they need to start pumping out the 2020 Stormtrooper mold. Do some repaints on that. Whatever
give us some crazy stuff there. Exactly.
But in other news, so well, I guess we'll talk about this real quick. We don't have to spend too much time on. But Patrick is now part of the Nerf team, and he's no longer part of the Star Wars team. He was the butt of a lot of memes, which I feel like probably is a reason why he wanted to switch. I'm sure he also got a financial increase and all that goodness. So, but he just won't be on the streams anymore. Are you all part of the people who are really excited about that, or just kind of indifferent?
Listen, it's Nerf or nothing. And now I demand entertainment agnostic Nerf gun packaging, or else I'm not buying.
I agree.
I can't wait
so
to see
ready.
the different Nerf entertainment expressions. Oh, this is the Fortnite entertainment expression from Nerf.
It's coming.
No, I've talked to Patrick in person. Like he's a nice guy. He's not this like. I feel like people either have framed them in their minds as either evil or incompetent or whatever, and we joke about the phrasing they use. But who knows? Maybe that phrasing comes from Lucasfilm. It's not a Patrick thing. But I do think that the problem with Patrick was more so when you put the Star Wars team up against other like Hasbro teams, Marvel Legends, or Transformers, or G.I. Joe. Like they have personalities on there where you just want to hear them talk more about the stuff. You can hear their excitement. Emily and Lenny on G.I. Joe, or Ryan and I can't remember anyone else's names on the Marvel Legends team right now because I don't really collect Marvel Legends, or like B Mac and
Dwight.
Evan on Transformers. Dwight, thank you. I know that was one. Like they have those personalities where like they're genuinely excited for the toys they're making and stuff like that. Thank you, Kirby. Dan Yoon on the Marvel Legends team as well. I just feel like the Star Wars team didn't really have that. Like they had Patrick, and he just didn't. He came off more car salesman-y, or like
Just like
Mhm.
corporate.
than
Yeah.
than I'm just
Yeah.
a guy, you know, who's excited about toys, and that's really what they need. And hopefully now that Steve Evans is the, you know, on the Star Wars team, and maybe he's gonna take over more of that stuff in the future. And obviously Steve Evans exudes that energy, so it could be exactly what the team's been missing.
I'm excited to
Jing-
tune into
Will,
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Wilbon's 100% right. Jing, I love Jing, and I like Eric, and Emily on the team is a treasure. She's a treat. I don't even like TVC, but you can tell that she's like a real OG there. She loves Star Wars, and I love that about her. And
You want to bring
I
up
don't
Chris?
think I'm gonna. No, I'm not gonna bring up Chris.
I'm bringing him up.
I was on
gonna
vacation.
bring
That lion,
Name that
Two-Face.
figure.
I'm not gonna bring up Chris at all, but Jing is great. I feel like because it's not consistent, it's hard to say, oh, this is that one person. But when Patrick's there, it's very much like the Patrick show, so it's hard to pull him away from that. So hopefully in the future you will get more Jing, or we'll get Steve Evans or someone to kind of bring the energy back, the positive energy back.
Yeah.
I guess.
I
Yeah.
think you guys explained it pretty well on your last episode when, you know, as adult collectors, we don't really think like Hasbro is just a company, and the people who work there, it's like maybe they weren't even into toys before working
Right.
there. It's just like you just by happenstance, you know, just like any other job. Like I work at a bank. And do you think before I worked at this bank, I was like, I have an exquisite passion for banking? Like, no, it's just like it just so happened to be where I ended up. And before COVID, they didn't really do the whole video live stream thing, I don't
Yes.
think. So
It did not.
I could imagine if one day orders from the top came down, they said, Justin, you're going to be doing live streams to thousands of people and you're going to explain your job and what you're doing at your job. And I'm like, I can kind of see how that'd be nerve wracking.
But you have to act like you absolutely love it. And
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened with Eric. Is like, you know, he from what I've heard him talk about, you know, like that's not something that he really signed on to do. They just told him that he was doing it. And I feel for those people, like people like us. We're all either YouTubers or we've put ourselves out there on like TikTok and Instagram. In Zach's case, we're like, that's something we chose to do. That's something we do because we like doing it. And there's a bit of like a performance, like a personality type you kind of have to be able to perform that well. And when you just show up to expect to do a job, and suddenly they're like, no, now you have to be on stage performing. Like that's an extra level that you just aren't expecting sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
I'm
a
excited.
lot of
Plus, you have to have thick skin. You have to have thick skin.
yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You know, to be called a shill in every comment. You know,
Just embrace it.
I'm
You know,
excited to tune into a Nerf
They
stream.
literally are shills. They get paid by Hasbro.
That is
Right.
true. Do you think
The
if we
one
turn-
time.
Do you think if we tune into a Nerf stream, Patrick's gonna have all like the recent product behind him on the shelves, like because whenever he would do it from his house, and it would just be all the recent Star Wars.
He always has been. He's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
been a big Nerf fan.
The first he's gonna say, I've
Oh,
always loved Nerf.
Always the latest product in package behind him. I'm a longtime fan, guys. You know me.
But then like with
Nerf.
Emily, it's like the history of TVC behind her and all that.
Nobody loves Nerf as much as I do.
Yeah. I really feel like it's probably not gonna, be that big of a change, but hopefully Mr. Stevie goes on the streams and brings in some new energy and some new life, because we desperately need that for the Star Wars live streams.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get that from Mr. Stevie because he's a collector, he's a fan, he's into it.
Yeah.
So
Well, one thing, I'm not sure if he's gonna be on live streams, because is he ever even on the Marvel Legends live streams? I don't.
Yeah,
really think
he has been.
does.
He was.
he's not always on them.
No, he's not always on, but I can definitely remember one where he was, because he was like opening up toys they had in package, and I wasn't 100% sure that they wanted him to, but he was just doing it anyway. They were showing off like the 3 3/4 inch Marvel Legends, And it was like maybe it was last year sometime. It was the 5 POA ones they've been doing, and he's like, "I want to open this," and he's like opening it, and I could see like on Ryan's face, I'm like, I'm not entirely sure he wants you to do that.
It'd be nice to see
but-
him though.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fan stream, you want to get into the fan stream that they just had, so we can talk about it.
Absolutely.
Take us away,
So-
Zach. Are you in charge of the pictures, Zach?
He is.
Yes.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
created this little.
I think Steve Evans created those pictures, didn't he?
No, I'm talking. I created the slideshow here.
Oh, okay.
I copied these. Are just Steve Evans posted
Yeah.
them on his.
I know
Instagram,
that's
which-
one thing that he's already bringing to the table is we
Yeah.
would have never had pictures like this in the checklist he's been doing. Like that's all him. Like that's not something that anyone ever does, So we're already
Already.
seeing benefits. Yeah, we're already
Marketing.
seeing benefits. Yeah.
Yardy.
Yardy.
So first off, we have the Phase 1 Clone Trooper. It's just the 3.0 mold and putting that Phase 1 helmet on it. Any thoughts around the table? Justin, I see you giving a little thumbs up there. Excited for the Phase 1?
Yeah, I'm gonna sell my 2020 phase ones, and I pre-ordered 4 of these because
Nice.
the 2023 Clone Trooper sculpt really is that much of an upgrade to me. I know some people aren't gonna, oh, it's just a clone, whatever. But to me, it's just those larger shoulder pads, the loose torso overlay, the fixed knee pads is a big one. Obviously, the painted face. They added bicep swivel. The thighs are actually different. They're a bit thicker. It looks like an actual guy in armor. It's just across the board. The helmet sculpts are better. So I pre-ordered 4. I went a little crazy. I usually don't do 4 of a trooper unless it's like something super desirable. And I think phase 1 plain is more desirable than phase 2 plain
100%.
because they're more common, Phase 2 is usually
Well, 'cause everyone in
associated with
phase
the
2
Legion.
Yeah, they're part of a Legion. They have a color and a paint job, whereas in that's all you really see in Attack of the Clones is a bunch of plain Jane phase 1 clone troopers running around,
Yeah.
and droids and whatnot.
But I don't want to act like, we can't point out the negatives. And they
Sure.
are missing paint that was on one of the older figures with the chin. There's even a
Just throw it
sculpted
away.
detail. Yeah, there's even a sculpted detail on the chin, but then they just didn't put that black dab on
I
there.
don't even
On
want
the
it. I'm just
chin.
gonna I'm gonna go
Yeah.
cancel. I don't even want it anymore.
They
just
did
ruined
do
the
it
video.
in 2013 in the orange line, but they didn't do it on the 2020 either. So that's why I'm kind of indifferent.
Yep. I really feel like no one complained about it then, so it's really not worth complaining about it now.
I know.
Unless
You
you're
gotta
looking
point it
for-
out.
Unless you're looking for
Right.
something to complain about, which I feel like
Right.
a lot of people do sometimes, or they want
For
to latch
sure.
onto any little thing they can.
This
Because
does
every
all
figure can be better.
yeah,
Yes.
but this does also have the fully painted frown too. That's
Yes.
something
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
That looks so
that
good.
even certain older phase 1 clones don't have the fully painted frown.
I love that it's a frown. They're just all sad. They're no clone trooper.
I'm a sad Mr. Clone
I'm
Trooper.
a clone trooper.
I don't want
Born.
I don't want to fight the bugs.
You're not my dad, Mace Windu.
And-
Jango fed my dad.
I have seen some complaints that people are saying the helmet is too big, but I will say, in defense of Hasbro, I feel like that's more of a CGI episode 1, like the actual movie issue, for making it look like a human head cannot squeeze into that super tiny thing.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
So, like, what do you expect Hasbro to do? I mean,
The only thing they could have done
Alt peg.
Right.
is swappable. Yeah. So
Yeah.
alt heads is the only thing they could have done. Yeah.
But I think they've made it clear in this scale that that's probably never going to happen for Black Series.
Which that's just crap. They said in one of those recent Q&As that we all hate across the board, aside from like Lukeness Monster, Bosk's Bounty,
Mhm.
etc.
There's like 2 or 3 good ones. Yeah.
One of the answers was just like it was so back. I'm trying to think of the exact quote they said. Oh, they were like, there's strong like opposition on both sides to the like removable helmet thing versus like an alternate peg. I'm like, I feel like it's very one-sided. Like the
Who?
benefit, yeah,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
the benefit is much more to, an alt peg so you can get the proportions correct on the helmet and get that screen accuracy. I've had one individual person in the Discord says they prefer the removable because they do stop motion animation. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you are like 0.00001% of the collecting community. You're overruled.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I really like it. I do kind of wish we could get one of these with the chrome visor because of that shot in
Oh yeah.
went on Geonosis of that clone having like the chrome.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. But I like the black too. Yeah, I think I got 2 of these because I have 2 phase or the 2.0 molds of these. So I think I'm just gonna ride out 2 of these because I know they're gonna repaint this one for all the ranks. Also the blue.
I want
green,
them to.
yellow,
Hasbro,
red.
make
Yep.
it rain.
And I'm in on
Make
those.
it rain.
That'd be sick.
Need them. Yeah.
So I
Thought
think I'm
Mike
only
was
going
gonna
2
do
on these.
Yeah. I thought Mike was
What do you
going to
think I
do
was
a
gonna-
classic Hasbro, baby. Hasbro, baby. Listen.
Baby. Hasbro. I know you're watching. I know you're watching. Make me big. I know you're watching.
Make me big.
Hasbro, baby. Baby. Come on. You know you want to make money. This will print money. Every color of the rainbow. Give us red. Give us blue. Give us green.
Non-canon colors.
Give us yellow. Give us non-canon colors. Fuchsia. Give us pink. Give us chartreuse. I don't care. Roy G. Bivme. Roy G. Bivme all
Cerulean.
over my face. Yeah. Just, I don't care, baby. Give them to us. I'll buy them.
Yeah, the phase 1 rings would be so cool to get.
Yeah.
Oh,
for the 2020.
that's one of the things I got rid of on my shelf is those
Yeah.
phase 1 ranks. I know a lot of them are sought after. I know because a lot of them were super early in the line. And it kind of sucks taking them off because, like, I do like the representation of those colors on my shelf, but at the same time, like, I
You're
just
gonna get them
can't.
again.
I
On
just
the
can't.
Geonosis
Yeah,
anyways.
that's also true.
They'll be back
Yeah.
and better.
Well,
than
we're already getting a blue one, right? Kinda
Oh,
the
God.
blue,
The
blue
501st?
one,
Kinda, yeah, it's
the
a-
Ahsoka one.
Yeah, it's sorta, I guess.
Still not the
Kinda.
lieutenant, Hasbro.
Yeah.
I
Still
mean,
not the
Hasbro
lieutenant.
called it.
Yeah, well, you know what they literally said? Chris said that he was on vacation when they were naming that figure.
Bruh.
So it's Chris's fault, is what I'm hearing, because he shouldn't have been on vacation.
I'm like, that's one of the funny. That's right next to the factory missed the note.
The
That's like
factory
one of
missed
my
the note.
favorite
I was on vacation.
responses. Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Are you the only
man.
person responsible for
No,
understanding?
Chris-
Like,
Chris,
Yeah,
Chris is
Eric-
sitting on the beach, drink in hand.
Yeah. So like,
Like,
in
shouldn't-
Ahsoka,
They're frantically emailing him and texting him, Chris, please respond.
This. We just did
yeah,
this.
why would you be the
Please.
contact for that? Why would
And
it
he's
be
just-
a Lucasfilm?
did they think
be
in
like-
the Ahsoka series it was just like 50 lieutenants, like only lieutenants were running around,
This
like
is
no
all
other
lieutenants.
Like,
Yeah, no.
yep. Yeah, super hyped on that one.
Why wouldn't Lucasfilm be a contact for? Hey, what's this clone again? Like, our guy's on vacation. We're not allowed to text him while he's not at work. Like, why is he the only point of contact for naming the figure?
Oh,
Who knows?
I couldn't
All
tell
right,
you.
but the next one's a big one, so I know everybody's really excited to talk about this one.
Let's
Oh, by the
go.
way, I pre-ordered 2 of them in case anyone cares.
Yeah, we did
Droidicas?
skip over.
Because that's what we're talking about now.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, I did 4. I did 4 phase 1s like Justin because we crazy over here.
We're back
Crazy.
to back to clones.
But now let's go to the Droidica. Let's
Yeah,
go to the Droidica. Yo, let's
go to what we care
go.
about. Let's go. Let's
Keep
go.
rolling, rolling,
Let's go.
rolling, rolling.
Let's go.
Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
Copyright claim. That's so good. We're getting copyright now.
IMP Droidica is right here.
I've seen Limp Bizkit live in concert twice. Good times.
On purpose.
Gives you the
badass.
pass.
Yes.
That's badass.
Anyways, the Droidica. Wow.
Droidica, fellas, it's finally in the Black Series. Not necessarily in hand yet. Hopefully soon. But how hyped are you all on a scale of 1 to 10 for the Droidica? Before
I'm
we
at a
talk
10.
beats.
I'm at a 10. I love
Yeah.
this. I love this reveal.
I think this absolutely delivered. It looks great. The paint app details on it The purpley reddish brown color looks great.
I wrote down that quote for Figure It Out. They said like cast in a like metallic bronze silverish plastic and then a purple overspray to give it that iridescent look. I was like, Eric, talk to me. That's music to my ear.
Yeah.
Paint.
I'm falling asleep to that. Yep.
My brother, you are turning me on right now.
Even like the little silver details down at the feet, like with like the little like
in between the joints.
the like pistons.
Yep.
It's looking great. This is looking
There's
like a
two
big
things.
fat W.
There's two things here, and this isn't a problem with the figure itself. Hopefully, the person taking the picture, why didn't they open the little things on the sides? Like all of them, they're all closed. Every one, the little things on the sides are closed. They should be open.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do see what you're talking about.
Also, and again, this is just here on the picture. The barrels of the blasters are warped as shit.
They are warped.
Mhm. I didn't even notice
So-
that till you pointed it out. God, you just ruined it for me.
Like
The whole figure's
especially the one on the right.
Yeah,
Like
it's
from the
pretty
Droideca's
bad.
perspective.
It's pretty
It's pretty
bad.
bad. It's pretty bad. But I mean, that's fixable. If it's an issue, like in package, easily fixable. Not an issue. But that being said, I wish it came with blast effects.
Mm.
That
I'm
is
just
very
gonna say
true.
it.
I'll always
like-
take.
Sure.
I'm not mad. I'm happy. I'm psyched. I'm at like an 8 out of 10.
I'm at a
Oh,
10.
pretty good.
Like I've been looking forward to it for too long to not be at a
And I will
10.
say, if this is the only thing that we got in that live stream, if everything else is TVC and they're like, we have one thing for you, here's a Droideka. This is literally all I needed in a
Yeah.
live stream to be happy. This is it.
Think about like how many individual pieces there are. Like imagine
Yeah.
the piece count
Yeah.
on this
Mhm.
figure, which
Yeah,
is
look
why
at all
the
those little
33
cords going around everywhere.
Yeah, and
Like,
look at that like copper-ish, like
Moving
goldish
parts.
coloring
Yeah.
on the tubes
mhm.
Yep.
there. I'm loving the detail. And again, like imagine if that was a model kit. Like imagine how many pieces you would have to assemble yourself.
Right.
All that individuality of those pieces coming together, it just looks so sick. I love the eyes, and they have the
Yep.
red dots on like it's kind of like an insect thing, like the two eyes
Yeah.
and the nose beetle thing.
Yeah.
I think it looks sick. I think the armor plating, like the maroonish coloring, looks pretty cool. Almost looks
gorgeous.
carbonized.
Yep.
Yeah. The only thing I know, like I understand not giving us like a shield. Like I get it. That would be way too big. Like I get it.
If they could sell
do
it
wish-
separately, that would be awesome.
I'd buy it.
At least.
Like I said, I
I'd buy
do
it.
wish we had some kind of like maybe blast effect, but more than that, I think maybe like an electrified effect, like it's being electrocuted or something.
Mhm.
That'd be
You could
cool.
like wrap around it, because that's in the Clone Wars they would take these out by rolling the droid poppers under the shield fast enough or slow enough to where it could go through the shield and go off, and then they would kind of fry. And I think that would have been great, but that's literally my only complaint. Everything else is perfect. I'm super, super impressed that it's just a deluxe price, because I was honestly expecting
Yeah.
more.
I was expecting close to 40, like 38.99.
I was
This
thinking
is
40,
33.99.
45. Yeah, for sure.
And ball mode too. That
And
we're kind of up in the
ball
air.
mode. It literally they did it. Eric did it
Yep.
on the stream. He rolled it up on the stream.
Well, he tried. He got kind of close and kind of gave up, right?
I feel like it's in the moment. It's,
It was
Definitely
good enough.
wasn't. It wasn't as tight as it is on this picture right here that we're looking
Sure.
at. That's for sure. I went back and watched it today and was like, that's a little loose. I wonder how hard it is to actually get
well,
it.
it's probably that, and that's not a final product they have there. That's a prototype. So
That might have been his first time ever, like his like second and a half time like messing with it too.
also that. Yeah.
So
Yep.
Well, like I
Will-
know because friend of the show Dan Larson was a presenter for PulseCon, and he said all of the toys they had when they were showing them off, all of them were like very loose, like prototype versions. They weren't the final product. They didn't pull them out of a package and put them on the thing. Like they had them from the factory kind of thing.
that makes sense. And I do just want to say real quick, Like, this is one of those awesome moments as a Black Series collector, because I feel like every time you all have been on our podcast, probably, and every time I or we with Mike have been on the Out of the Basement Lazy Sunday, this is a figure we've talked about wanting in the Black Series for absolute years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, I can't remember if it was on our show or your all's stream, but we were talking about, does it need to roll up? And I can't remember if some people were saying, like, I'm fine without it, but I was on the side that I felt like it needed to, since these are
It needed to.
toys.
Yep.
So I'm so glad it rolls up. But I do just want to take a second. This is one of those fabulous Black Series moments, you know,
Which is why
and
we're
it's finally-
kind of like, with such the consistent like outrage over the stream, I was kind of just like, huh?
Right.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, totally hyped on this one. I kind of like the
Hyped.
ball mode, how it's not completely in ball mode, because then it would just topple over side to side.
Yep.
They like
Mhm.
flatten the piece of it so you can actually pose it as if it's rolling, which I thought.
Well, it's the same kind of thing with the battle droid in its little folded up mode, as you can still kind
Yeah.
of stand it up, so you can still display it that way, which is nice. Yeah.
Now we need some little like wind effects to attach to it, so it looks like it's moving. I could
Use some of the like SH figure arts.
yeah, they have a
effects.
Goku set that has like the kicking
Can of
wind and
beans
stuff.
might have something, honestly.
Yeah, that's also, but that's not the only topic to discuss when it comes to the Droideka, because on the package it looks like there's a lightsaber. So, boys, what are the thoughts? Is this a Darth Maul? It's behind the leg, kinda. Is this a Darth Maul?
Yeah, I really feel like the position of the lightsaber gives it away, that it has
Like,
to
it's pointing
be
down.
right. Because why would they pose? Why would Because obviously the other thought is, repack of Qui-Gon or Padawan Obi-Wan, both super desirable, hard to find figures, worthy of re-releases.
Sure.
But it would be weird for them to be on the mural art with their like saber ignited, posed downward. It wouldn't
Downward, yeah.
And behind their leg, yeah.
Yeah.
On someone else's box. Like, why would your saber be on like all the way? Well, it's not all the way,
Right.
but it would be more prominent on their own box, you would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the color of the saber doesn't really factor anything, because the color of the boxes always kind of skews the color of the saber, so it can't go off that. And we know it's not Attack of the Clones, or I know we know it's not a Ki-Adi-Mundi, because he's on an Attack of the Clones box.
And some people, and I know they might not have realized what packaging the Droideka's on, but some people were in the comments saying, like, Count Dooku. It's the Count Dooku that Yak said was coming,
Right.
Yep.
but
Yeah.
it's definitely not Count Dooku. People should watch the Star Wars movies again. This is Phantom Menace box. So if you think it's
Yep.
Count Dooku, I'm not going to say anything about your intelligence about Star Wars, but just go rewatch the movies and
But I think the
you'll understand
pants
it's not.
or whatever, the leg kind of also gives it away, because to me it's a very kind of pillowy, flowy pant leg, which Darth
Gamer pant.
Maul's. Yeah, exactly. And Pletho is right. There's only 3 characters that even ignite a lightsaber in the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And Darth Maul, there's plenty of iconic stances
Yep.
with him, and I feel like a really popular one is when he's holding his saber behind his back and kind of
Yep.
pointed towards the ground.
Yep.
So even from that little sliver that we see, I can totally see how that would end up being a Darth Maul pose.
Plus, we're way overdue for a Phantom Menace Darth Maul redo.
I mean, could be
That wasn't.
A-lister.
They better. Not.
Yeah,
That's a
I was-
2013
This
first
see,
wave.
this is literally what I was gonna say. Was what are the chances that this is just a repack?
I would be so
I mean,
disappointed.
they're doing an
I
X-Wing.
will be
pilot.
very depressed. I'll be very,
Right,
That's an
very
art-
right.
though.
That's true.
I feel like if they're gonna put it in Galaxy packaging, they should at least like redo it, like they did with R2. Like,
I mean, prototype Boba Fett was 2014. And they still
True.
repacked him in Galaxy.
no, you're not wrong.
I do
A-list Darth
agree,
Vader and
obviously, the
Mando.
2013 sculpt. Absolutely do not use
no, you're not
a
wrong.
sculpt from 2013. Like, I agree with you, but I think it's a possibility.
If they
I should open myself to it being a possibility, so I'm not super disappointed.
Yep. I think we do really realistically have to have that just right in the back of your mind. Like, this could just end up being another repack of that Maul figure. I hope not, though.
But also, at the same time, would it say if they did reuse it? Do you think they would include the alt head swap? Because that'd be a lot of plastic for a normal figure these days. The alt head with the
They would
robe
take it away
coming
just like
down.
they took away Qui-Gon's hand.
I
Yeah,
was kind of thinking it'd just be the no robed version.
Yeah, I could see that.
Binoculars. No, they would take away the binoculars too, because like if you don't have
because
the whole
it goes
robe-
with it goes with the over robe look. But
Yeah.
yeah, I could definitely see that them ditching that
Yeah.
accessory entirely. I think even if they redo Maul, if this is a brand new tool Maul, it's not gonna have the hood up.
probably not. I agree. It'll
Yeah, I
just
agree
be
with
the
that.
final dual mall.
Maybe soft goods robe. Maybe.
Hopefully, what you could do though is just
Highly
flip
doubt
the
it,
head with
though.
the one you already had. like if somehow
Yeah,
the head
right.
were compatible, it wouldn't be. It would.
No, because it'd be the double neck peg now, so it
Correct.
wouldn't
Correct.
swap on right. But I'd still get it anyway because we're
Yeah.
desperately in need of a mall that can articulate from Phantom Menace. Because let's face it, the
Correct.
Black Series one is stiff as hell these days.
Yeah, and my lightsaber for that Darth Maul is like bent because it fell. So I need an updated Darth Maul saber.
Oh, it's they molded those feet like they're on rockers, like it. He likes to rock back.
Well, yeah, he always and the way the hips are made, he always stands with like an A pose, like an A
yeah.
frame.
Yeah.
It's a terrible figure on
Not good engineering. Not good engineering.
Yeah. So we're not making excuses. I think sometimes people get confused, like, oh, they're making excuses. It's not excuses. It's just like realistic expectations.
reasoning.
Like it's a
Yeah.
possibility that,
Mhm.
knowing Hasbro. And it would be stupid. Like I would criticize that decision. I don't think they should be using any 2013 tooling. That's 11 years old, over a decade old.
Yeah.
Right.
Also,
Time
I
to
do
retire.
I do have to say this to meet the Black Series Cantina quota, but if this is a reuse of the 2013 Darth Maul, the chances of them reusing the 2014 Anakin, like just reusing that body in an Ahsoka box, go up, and that's going to be
no.
very depressing to me. So this better be a newly sculpted Darth Maul, or
I feel
I'm
like
gonna
new
be
media gets a
in
little
the-
bit of a higher priority, though.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just thinking there's a higher chance if they reuse it from 2013. There's a higher possibility they reuse the Anakin, and I'll be in the ditch for like a little bit. You'll have to. My boys will have to lift me back up, from the bottom of the pool. I'm gonna need your all support.
We'll need a wellness check on
We'll do that.
Zach.
Yes, call a wellness
Come
check.
down.
Reach out to my wife. She knows all about that stuff. Like, yeah, like just have her get me some help, and I'll be in a weird, not great mental state.
You'll be
But-
in a bad place. Yeah.
Yes.
You're gonna hear the clacking of the foosball table downstairs, and you're gonna be like, "What is that?" You're gonna open your door, and you're gonna see me and Justin going hard. Mike's gonna be laying on the sectional. We're gonna have Star Wars despecialized on.
I'm also going to be going hard.
Yeah,
Just being me.
I love it.
We got
I love
you,
it.
Zach. We
We'll
got
have a
Yeah, we
nice
got
little
you.
session. We'll
Yeah.
talk it out, and
And we'll record it so we can monetize it.
yeah, Patreon exclusive, VIP
That's right.
exclusive. So
All right.
join. We'll open some VIP sections. Up.
the $500 tier. It's coming.
Yeah, the
Be a part of
$500
Zach's
channel
wellness
membership
check.
here.
We release the ICC video.
Oh, don't even say it. Don't even say it. Moving on, we have Grand Admiral Thrawn from the Ahsoka
All right,
show.
moving on.
Hey.
Next, changing the subject.
Hey,
Hey.
Look at that render.
very nice.
Awesome.
What do you all think about spring 2025 already revealed?
Well, it's just this year's Kiadi Mundi. Am I right?
Yeah, that's
Oh no.
I think we see this figure around October of this
agree.
year.
Say September.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think there's actually some websites that say November of 2024,
Yeah.
I
right?
think
So,
I think
that's
yeah,
what Livna said on your all stream.
GameStop says October or November or something. I
think
fully
Hasbro Pulse said January of 2025. Not even
just
spring.
Yeah, what?
it- release dates have gotten a little bit better, but as we all know, like over the past few years. Like that's always been the thing of like, hey, this figure's coming out way in the future. Oh, just kidding. No, it's not. It's coming out tomorrow. Like how often has that happened over the past few years to where they're just saying spring 2025 just in case it gets delayed to spring 2025 so they don't have to announce a delay. You know,
the Glavis Ringworld Mandalorian did take forever to come out though too. Like they pipelined it. It took forever to see it, and it took a super long time to.
There definitely are a few examples of figures that do, and obviously Kiadi is one right now, but.
Yeah.
But I think it's that Mando, Kiadi, and now this Thrawn.
But hold on, we're getting. We still got that Glavis ring. I keep saying ringworm, Ringworld.
It's such a bad system name.
We're getting
Halo
a lot sooner than what it said originally, though. Like, because it was not supposed to come out until
March, right?
the beginning, March of this year, and we got it at the end of last year or very beginning of this year. So we still got that a couple months early.
Good
so
point.
I think there's a very good chance that we're gonna get this.
We'll get this one
earlier. Yeah.
Yep.
And
it just seems like they're always one figure that they're like, oh, this is coming out in a year and a half, and then it's like, oh, you got it at the end of the year.
And frankly, like we always say, it's better to wait for these figures and make sure that it's as accurate as possible. Like, would we seriously have wanted this figure rushed out on the old Imperial body when we know that's not what Thrawn's like body type looks like in Ahsoka?
And you would be a little thick, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta have
love that he's a little thick. I love it.
And my hope is that's going to be a rubber overlay, and then that's going to open us up to getting new male officers on a newer body, because they said the legs are new, they said the torso's new, obviously the neck is new, it's the double neck peg, and I think the arms are new too. I think I thought it was kind of weird.
They have a very deep bend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you noticed? Hold on. Have you noticed that he might be able to put his hand up to his neck, like a certain admiral in a certain movie that gets choked a certain way?
Maybe.
And they could, if it's a rubber overlay, they could swap it out and make it even better.
Easily.
Like
Right. That's
restrictive. Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping, and that's would make sense as to how they could achieve like a little bit of the dad bod Thrawn look. And so I think it's fine. I'm all for accurate figures no matter how long they take. If it takes a couple years to get an accurate figure, that's fine. I don't need to play with Thrawn in the bathtub while I'm watching Ahsoka.
This isn't what we want, Hasbro. This is not what we want. This Balin should have been coming out in a year.
Balin and Shin are going to go down in history as like the perfect example of this is what you get when we need our figures right now. I don't want it 2 years after the show comes out. Then it's not relevant. Like, what kind of mentality is that? I don't understand it.
Yeah, that's very common rhetoric on our channel. And I know you guys as well. You guys would rather wait because take a look. Again, sign up for that Patreon. You can take a look physically. Look at all these figures. Like, do you really think I'm hard pressed for like anything?
Those look like they're from 1977.
Yeah, I just get them as they come out. I've never understood the craze of getting things as the show or movie was coming out. I get it from like a marketing perspective, but
I get it from being a little kid. Like
when that big Jurassic, like whenever there's a new Jurassic movie and the big, huge standee at Target.
Right.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. But this is Star Wars and we're a bunch of man babies. And we don't need it right now. We can wait.
And I think we all would have loved it if we would have waited, an extra year, and we could have got Balin and Shin with the right heights, with the correct saber colors, with the correct saber lengths, with cloaks. They're pretty much
the eyebrow change.
Yeah, they pretty much both always have their cloaks on in Ahsoka, and neither figure comes with them. Mm-hmm. That's
wild.
It's
and a perfect example of that is today my fine editions. This Iron Man is from a movie like well over a decade ago. the Dragon Ball Z figures I got, that's from when it was Dragon Ball Z, the early
93.
90s.
That
Yeah,
early
like
90s,
come on,
yeah.
like the timing
Because if
doesn't
you
matter if the
truly like
figures and
something-
characters are good enough, or like yeah, if you truly like something, it doesn't matter if it came out 2.5 years ago. Like from a business marketing standpoint, I understand for the masses you want to get it out there, but me
Right.
as a diehard Black Series Star Wars collector, I do not care. Like I
And these
personally-
are
I do
adult
not care.
collectibles, and Hasbro refers
Exactly.
to these as adult collectibles. So I don't even think the kid angle, is really there for like this specifically.
Yeah, they just need to do that for the TVC figures and then for the kid angle.
Yep.
Or
That
just
is the
find
kid-
POA. Like not even like good TVC. Like make like a cheap 5 POA line. Throw that out. Nobody cares. The kids can have their little toys.
Honestly, they should go so hard on that new Epic Heroes series.
Yeah,
Cancel
exactly.
TVC,
Yeah.
put all that money into the real line. And then we got the kids figures, we got the small figures for people with little hands, and we got the real figures for us real men
The
who
big
like
boy
real
figures.
figures.
Dude, Zach just goes mask off. No holds barred on the
So
Black Series
good.
Cantina.
That's so good.
He's had a few drinks in the cantina. He's
Right.
popping off.
One too many.
Oh no!
I'm driving home, so
Yeah.
somebody help.
He's that uncle that comes to Thanksgiving.
I will say, since this is mainline, I did not pre-order it because I have not
Same.
pre-ordered mainline in a long time.
Yep. Did not pre-order.
It's
Long
just they're
time.
cake to find. We have a really good toy store in our area that we like to go to. Whenever there's a new wave, and I like supporting them. And if I don't find it there, they'll be at GameStop. So
I pre-ordered it.
Or
just 'cause it doesn't
Amazon,
cost- It doesn't
you know.
cost anything to cancel a pre-order. But
true.
I can't remember the last time I got a mainline figure from a pre-order. Like I always get them from like Toy Snowman way early or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool figure, though.
So
I- well,
Thrawn,
I do
looking
think there
forward to
is-
it. Go ahead.
There is an interesting thing to point out, which I don't know if this was in your show notes for later, but this is technically the only mainline figure we know about, and it's slated for next year.
It's not in our show notes, but definitely something I wanted to talk about because most of what we've seen this year is fan channel, and I
Right.
think that might be a theme this year.
The Black Series is dying.
I definitely think they're pulling, maybe not dying, but we're going into like an ebb, if you will, where they're course correcting from overproduction of last year, which was a course correct from the spike in popularity that happened during COVID. They're always just kind of adjusting to things that are happening. But the problem is it's all reactionary because like nobody saw COVID coming, and then no one saw the fact that people had so much time on their hands they could pick up new hobbies like collecting action figures, and then that spike of all these new collectors trying to collect all these things, and then they're like, well, now we have to make more to accommodate that, and then they did, but then people started moving on to other things, because people like to hyper focus and move on. But the problem is they kept making way too many things, and that's why we get so much stuff going on clearance, on top of the fact that there were a lot of issues with getting figures to the places they should be, and then when they finally got there nobody cared, or Target would see, oh, this is old stock, so let's discount it even though it just hit the shelf brand new. So there's a lot of reasons for that. So I think they're course correcting again, trying to bring it back. Things are fan channel, which I know a lot of people see, oh, it's exclusive, and they get mad, but literally fan channel
Yeah,
is the
like,
best
come on.
kind of exclusive. It's the best kind of exclusive to be.
Yeah. I also feel like some of the mainline stuff might be maybe because we do have like Bad Batch and Skeleton Crew
Correct.
coming up.
Yeah. And a lot of stuff was pushed back. Like I think
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew was going to come out a lot sooner. Now they pushed it back.
I think it was supposed to
So
be December or November, right?
I
And
think
then
that
now it's-
created a lot of holes, and I definitely think that we were like, how many waves of Ahsoka did we get? 3?
That's what I was gonna say. It's like it's a combination. Like all these points are correct, but it's like a
Yes.
combination of all those
It's a
things. The
combination.
course
Yeah,
correction,
correct, yeah.
the
It's
new
never just
media
one
getting
thing.
the new media
Yeah.
getting delayed, and then the fact that we got absolutely bombarded with like
Yes.
4 waves in 2 months. near the tail.
And a lot of those
end
things were supposed to be out this
2023.
year. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
That- Like that Din Djarin was slated like March of this year. So
yep.
and if
So was
you look-
Balin and Shin were also slated for the beginning of this
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
And on top of that, if you look at the master list on Yak Face, it's down for maintenance right now. But if you were to look at it, there is just an absolute laundry list of code names for mainline 2024. So I'm not worried. I know that was a lot of big rhetoric going around after the fan stream and like the lack of mainline and is the line in trouble? Should we be concerned? Yada yada.
Especially with the Ackface posting like his kind of messages on on Instagram, kind of.
That's why I'm straight chilling. There's still so many rumored code name figures and so much stuff on pre-order and in the pipeline. A lot of figures we just got.
Did you say pipeline?
Well,
that's crazy.
Whoa! Before we get to pipeline, I just want to say something real quick. With the fan channel, like you pre-ordered 4 of those clone troopers each because they're fan channel, and you still pre-ordered 4 each. Yes. Nerdzoic is selling just straight cases of them, and I believe they're being shipped. They're being shipped with Kiadi Mundi, so that's the wave is basically a box of Kiadi Mundi and a box of the clone trooper.
Yep. Nice. And before we move into the pipeline, I did want to say real quick for the audio listeners and people watching, if they don't know yet, the Phase 1 clone trooper is Amazon and fan channel, which all these have already been
Amazon.
So if you haven't yet, Amazon. Droideka is fan channel, and then Thrawn is mainline, and then hopefully this Darth Maul is something soon. We'll see. But pipeline, so we have IG-12, Grogu, and Anzelin, the Walmart exclusive Mandalorian Night Owl, which is a female version. The Target one looks like the male version.
Correct.
I don't want to assume, but visually,
that's the presenting.
That's what they're presenting.
That's the body type they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazon exclusive 3-pack, which we're getting another 3-pack. That's kind of neat. We have the Jedi Survivor, Battle Droid, Super Battle Droid, and the Magna Guard, and a fan channel release of the Super Battle Droid, which that's the one I kind of want to start with.
It's not true. It's impossible.
So
I hope this is a clean version because I don't want that Tatooine or the Geonosis dirt on.
You don't want the credit collection?
Correct. I want a clean, out of the factory version. I agree. I don't want the dirty one again. The dirty one can come from the 2-pack. It's perfectly fine. This one I'm hoping is clean.
You know what they said during the stream that I didn't know was that Super Battle Droid in the 2-pack is scene specific. It's like frame specific.
Yes,
it's specifically
it's frame,
the one that gets shot and falls on top of 3PO, and that's why it's a 2-pack. So it will have a blaster mark on the back.
Yep.
So since that one,
is there pictures of that?
like where it gets shot. So since that is so like turbo specific, I do agree. I really hope this is not just a repack of that one.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's still great for people who were like freaking out and like having a meltdown over that 2-pack, thinking that
it was locked.
It was
behind a 2-pack.
Which, like, if you would just, and like they're commenting this on our video, it's like we're not the only people who are like, this is Hasbro. Of course, they're going to individually release. You could watch Out of the Basement. You can listen to Black Series Cantina, Luke Ness Monster, 1330. Like, it doesn't matter. Everyone is saying the same thing. Like, guys, don't worry. We've been collecting, like, if you've been collecting Hasbro stuff, you will know they love repack, repaints. No one should be surprised that this is getting a single release and you are freaking out over nothing.
And they revealed this fast too after that 2-pack reveal. So
I'm sure it's because of the absolute insane backlash to people thinking that it wasn't going to happen.
And there's a repaint right next to it in that 3-pack.
Yeah,
and
we have 2 of them here.
Magna
We have 2 here.
The pipeline here was literally calm down. There are Super Battle Droids and Magna Guards coming. Like, the repaints are coming. 'Cause that was the other thing too. People were commenting on our videos being like, I don't know, guys, it's been a few months and the Magna Guard hasn't been repainted yet.
It's been a
been
few
2
months.
And it's like, oh no, a few months have gone by and there's not a new one. That means they're never going to do it ever again. Yeah, I think people just want to be angry. They want to believe angry toy guy online or be angry toy guy online.
Yeah, there's an audience for it.
Mm-hmm.
They're sure. So which of these are you all thinking you'll be in on?
Definitely the 3-pack and Super Battle Droid is going to be a heavy hitter depending on what it looks like.
Yeah, I know Justin's going to be the first to pre-order the IG-12 with the Grogu and Zelen, right?
So
He'd be-
Ever
I'm
talked about
actually-
that yet?
Well, if you're just asking me how I feel about the pipelines, or
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm actually very lukewarm. I'm cold on this. I'm cold. I'm not really excited. I mean, I'm excited for people, like the people who love Jedi Survivor and they want those repaints. Like, that's awesome. The single release of the Super Battle Droid, if it's clean, I'm a pre-order too.
Man.
But that Mandalorian Night Owl, I got beef, guys. How many blue Mandos are they gonna do when there's like so many unique color palettes and color schemes and like different armor bits of like the Children of the Watch? But
Mhm.
then they're just doing all these Bo-Katan faction ones. Like they did Bo, they did Casca Axe, Fleet Commander, he's blue and silver. They did the Death Watch Mando blue. And this isn't even the only Night Owl. There's also a Target exclusive one.
Yeah.
That's a blue one. Then we got this Walmart one, another blue one. I'm like, guys, come on now. So I'm not excited for that one at all. And then I did not like this scene with IG-12 and Grogu.
It's such a good scene. The second I saw that scene, I was like, please give me that. Please give me that thing.
I like Grogu, but sometimes I just think they overdo it with the humor, like just the absurd humor. I think they just overdo it sometimes.
I
So
feel
I
like
was-
some. I feel
like it
like
was
you need to
perfect. It
come-
was-
I feel like you need a come to Jesus moment. I feel like you need to go to Whoville and make your heart grow 3 times its size. Like no baby, no squeezy. I mean, come on.
Maybe Justin just had a bad day at work whenever that episode of Mando
I
came
like
out. So he
Grogu.
saw it, and
I'm with
like it.
I'm with Justin on this. I think
Well,
IG-12 and
we part
Grogu
ways.
is stupid.
Part ways. We part ways.
yeah, I think
It's-
we're gonna end the podcast.
It's a lot of the
right?
Grogu gags are just really cheap. Like, oh, look how cute he is. How many moments of, oh, look how cute he is. Oh, he threw up the macaroon. Look how cute he is. Ha ha.
That was like the 4th episode, though, wasn't it, of like the entire series? Or was that season 2? I can't remember when he
That was
threw up the
season 2.
macaroon.
It
That
was
was
season
season 2. Oh, I was thinking of when's Cara Dune showing up, and he was like drinking the coffee or the little soup.
That was season 1.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
What I will say about this is I really hope this just leads to a newly sculpted IG-11.
Yeah.
100% or IG-8 or 8, whatever. Like, there's no way they can do an IG-12 on the current body we have. It's too skinny. It's too small. They would have to redo it. And
It has to be new. We
It
got in a
has to
very
be. It
a
has to
very
be.
crazy online debate
We
about
did.
this on the Twitter feed because
That
Wasn't
people
there a
can-
custom? Did you guys see that photo of the custom of the person saying it is possible to use the old sculpt?
no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think it's in the Discord somewhere, but I'd have to search for it. I agree, though. It should be.
it has to be new because the other one is
I would be so upset if it's
it's
not.
out of scale. It's
Oh yeah.
they have to do it new. They better do it new.
Oh, and the Babu Frick thing. It's another just stupid. Hey, like I didn't like that in Rise of Skywalker. I just don't like comedy. I hate laughing and I hate fun. I need it
I
all.
can tell. Yeah.
He needs
Serious. You
everything
want
to be
everybody
Breaking Bad and
I'm
Game
like
of
a
Thrones,
big-
so edgy, so serious.
Like so dark and gritty.
The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I want
did love that show.
Mando to stand over
That is so
the
good.
city and brood. Like
I agree. Mando doesn't shoot enough people right in the face anymore.
He isn't brood enough.
It's too jokey, just like the MCU. That's my main problem.
Yep. I think
jokey.
that's what stuff like IG-12 reminds me of, is the Marvel cringe humor, and then that's when I'm like, all right, I'm good on this.
I don't mind that humor. To me, it's
They
when
fly
that
now?
humor- to me, it's when that humor doesn't allow for other moments because it's all that humor. Like, I'm okay with that humor, but I don't want it to just always be there. I want that levity of like some seriousness.
You need a balance.
I need a balance.
Yeah. I thought the IG-12 moment fit Grogu's character.
I
because
love that.
He did need a way
when
to
they're
communicate,
walking
and
through the thing and he's just mashing that yes button. Like, I love that moment. I don't care. I don't care. Just
I
Price
love
on
that
it.
moment. It was so good. Me and my wife were cracking up. It was great.
yeah.
Yeah, Mike, you have any thoughts about these other, like, are you in on all of these or Mandalorian Night Owl?
Everything but the helmet. I'm gonna buy everything but the helmet.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about the.
Who cares about the helmet?
Yeah, whenever this first
Right.
popped up, because
Yeah.
I think I was kind of like looking to the side, and then I saw the picture, but then I didn't really hear what they were saying about it being the role play. I was like, what? And
It
then I saw
literally
the
says
helmet,
helmet.
and I was like,
This
I
is by the way that leaked one where it's like Vision or whatever the
site. The site.
yeah the site
What's
yeah
the point of having that there with the Black Series graphic of like the other figures? Like, why do
It's
they?
Black Series.
it's under the Black Series banner.
That is stupid.
Yeah,
It
I'm
is.
kind of confused. Why would they include like a shot of like the entire upper body if it's not a figure? Why wouldn't they just zoom in like just on the helmet or get a picture of the prop from Lucasfilm or something?
All it does is give TVC collectors like more what they think are like dunks against us when they're like, oh, 2 for 2, failed has.
you guys are getting yeah.
It's the only
dumb.
purpose it serves when they combine. They need to slap the TVC logo on that stuff.
I
see how
agree.
they like it.
That'd be awesome.
I would love that so much.
I agree.
They should bring back those awful titanium figures and call them vintage collection.
I did see a lot of negative reaction to that pipeline because it's almost all just, reuse,
Sure.
repaints. But
Yep.
I personally, I don't care if it's pipeline or if it's a reveal, if it's on the stream, if it's on Fantha tracks, if Yak leaks it, just give me the figures. Like, I don't care about the presentation of the streams or like the pipeline or.
Yeah. We're gonna get into the
Go ahead.
community reaction.
Yeah.
But me personally, I was so over the moon about how the droideka looked. I didn't even really notice that everything was essentially a repaint or a repack
Thrawn
in the
wasn't, though?
pipeline. Yeah, Thrawn. Technically, the Phase 1 is new.
Yeah, the phase one's on the new body. The droideka's new. The Thrawn, new torso, new legs,
got
and
IG-12
seemingly new
is
arms,
like-
new head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
IG-12
it's all
likely
new.
going to be
Yeah.
new, I feel like. Or
So
I would predict.
I was on a toy kind of mood last week, right after this, and I kind of came to the realization that like this whole thing probably could have just been an email. Like, this is one of those meetings you're in where you're like, this could have just been an email. Like, I feel like it would have been a lot more well received if they had just announced it. Like just today on the Wednesday or Thursday we're recording this was GI Joe Day, and Hasbro, instead of having a live stream where they showed off GI Joe stuff, they just on their Instagram all day, like every other hour or so, would throw up a new photo of GI Joe, and that was fun because you weren't hyping up the whole day, you weren't expecting to see anything crazy, and it was just a fun way to get some render reveals that we've seen. I think just the fact that they are saying, hey, we have this event, and even though they only announced it the day before, and the first 5 minutes of that whole time they're trying to downplay it, saying it's not going to be that great, and this is what fan channel is, and they don't even get to the actual toys for a good chunk of time. I still think that's enough for people hype it up in their heads, and it just leads to disappointment.
Yeah, I know I kind of talked to you guys in the group chat about this, but I have a lot of thoughts on the reaction to this fan stream.
You're on the floor.
So compared to Nate, I am more present in the online discourse side of things. Like,
True.
I have an office
Call out the haters.
job, and I have a job where I'm able to, I have dual monitors, I have tons of tabs open. I listen to a lot of podcasts and watch a lot of videos, just kind of in my ear in the background while I'm working and stuff. And it got to the point where it was starting to take away from like my joy and like mess with my mood when it came to like me being excited for the new clone or the Droideka or whatever. I literally had to stop. Like, I told myself, stop reading the Instagram comments, the YouTube comments, Twitter, Discord. Even like I took like a 2-day break because I just like I couldn't do it. And I think you're right, Mike. I'm kind of going back and forth of should they even do these streams anymore? Because you are exactly right. Everyone gets it in their idea that this is like the end all be all. This is going to be everything that's coming out for the next like 4 or 5 months. And it's like, no, absolutely not. We've always had random drops. We've had events like the Bring Home the Galaxy or Gift the Galaxy, like that sort of stuff.
Bring Home the
Mandomania, all those.
How many times have Yahoo News revealed a Black Series figure, or like Fantha Tracks, or Yak Face just straight up leaking something, or just Hasbro making a social media post? And I want to present this question to you guys. In my mind, just from what I see, I think that if Hasbro just dropped the Phase 1 clone, Droideka and Thrawn on on their socials and just revealed them that way, would we get that same level of disappointment from the community? Would we have that same degree of negative reaction? Because I saw tons of comments, like even in the Discord, people, have the that's it mentality where that's it until the next stream. And I'm like, no. There's like over 100 releases every year. It's not just gonna these 3 things. Like, Mike, I know you keep tabs on your Excel spreadsheets, and these past few years there's been at least around 90 to over 100 figures released, and they don't all get revealed on these streams. So if it was just a social media drop and you just woke up one morning and saw, oh my gosh, I opened up Instagram and you see a Black Series Droideka, I feel like community hype, I feel like that would help with, community hype, as opposed to hyping up these streams, which I know they said like, there's not going to be that many things revealed today, but I think that just flies over people's heads. And I think a lot of people get it in their head that this is it's a Hasbro Pulse fan stream. Let's go. Like,
this is not like San Diego Comic-Con or PulseCon. Yeah. Or even at PulseCon last year, they had nothing, which was, weird.
I think if they only did like social media drops or, Bantha Tracks or whoever, like Yahoo News or whatever drops, I think the negativity would still be there and some of the toxicity, because as someone who is mostly a social media, part of the community before the podcast, like on every Instagram post, there was always, and even on TikTok now, there's always people who are like, oh, this again, blah, 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 like when's Hasbro's making it easy to save me money, blah, blah, like all that stuff. But I think it would really help about people's expectations, because whenever I think we talked about this in the group chat, but whenever people see Star Wars brand live stream January 9th of 2024, be there to see all the latest brand reveals, and then they get 3 Black Series figures revealed, and also TVC and role play, like, but people want to focus on their line, so they see 3 Black Series figures and they're like, oh, we got nothing in some pipelines. But it's really a brand stream for like all their brands, not just Black Series or like whatever, line you collect. I think it would help for people's expectations. But I think a lot of the comments would still be there for sure. But it wouldn't be as like, it probably wouldn't be as harsh. But it's always been harsh also on social media too.
It's also important to remember that, like, I think a lot of the outrage was also more so TVC. That's like something I have to remind myself of. Like, okay, these people also probably collect TVC, or that might be just be a TVC collector. When you see like a super negative comment on Yak Face Instagram comments, I don't know why I read those damn Instagram comments.
It's
Those are
because
the
they're
worst.
entertaining.
Yeah. But 8 out of 10 of those TVC reveals were either straight up repacks or very, very slight retools. So even when it comes to like Yak's post that he made, and everyone was using that as like affirmation of, oh, we should be outraged. Look, even someone like Yak is saying this. I'm like,
That's exactly what I was going to say. It also doesn't help whenever probably the #1 online source for Star Wars is saying,
yeah,
live, die, repeat. This is the tagline of another franchise, but it's sadly applicable to today's mediocre fan stream of retools, repacks, refreshes, or whatever other corpo jargon you'd like to employ here. There were a couple of bright spots, but with 10 pre-order announcements, including only one new item, this was a weak first stream for 2024.
right. And he
For
collects
TVC.
TVC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you kind of have to incorporate the fact that he also collects TVC and we don't. So like we're chilling, but you know,
Yeah, friggin' Droidica. Are you kidding me? Like,
Right.
I know TVC was a little light because they just got the Rex, and then everything else was just a repack
Saw
of
that,
something
Luke.
they've already had.
Saw that Luke Ness comment.
Yep, I had to hit that like on that for sure. Yeah, see what people reply to Lukeness here. I wonder if people are really disagreeing with him. All right, let's view these. So people listening to the audio, you can go to Yak Face post. This is the post where Yak put up a poll for people to grade the fan stream A, B, C, or D. 54% of people
I gave it a
voted
B,
C.
by the way.
I would agree with it. I would agree with B. I think I missed the time to vote on this, but I would go B. The Droidica carried it. It carried it, and I'm excited for the clone. I'm excited for Thrawn. I mean, I'm excited for some of the pipelines. Like to me, it was a solid stream. It is really terrible how butthurt people get over plastic sometimes. All right, Aaron, I'm gonna like that, Aaron Darrow. All right, former Patreon member, I think. Former,
He is.
I think.
Yeah, he is.
Current or former? I can't remember.
I don't remember. If he's former, hi, how you doing? I mean, if he's new, he's current.
If he's current, I'm sorry. It's hard to keep.
I don't know. Yeah. We have like 50 or 60. It's hard to keep track. But here's one of the things though is Hasbro does these because they have like invested a lot into it and they have to justify the cost. That's why they do these live streams, is to justify the cost of what they sunk into it to get them done. Like they're renting a space, they rent equipment, but it's like a budget thing that they have to keep doing to use it, to justify it, because otherwise they would only ever do it for like PulseCon, and even then, like, who knows if they'll keep doing PulseCon. So it could be that they go back to how it was pre-pandemic and everything's relegated to just like the conventions. They'll have their Comic-Con convention, they'll have Star Wars Celebration when they do it, and they'll have New York Comic-Con and Toy Fair, and outside of those we would just get sprinkled with some reveals here and there, like on websites and whatnot. But that's how it was pre-pandemic. We didn't, like you said, we didn't have these live streams. They gave them to us just kind of here and there. CNN would weirdly have an article revealing some stuff, or Ars Technica would do it, like some random. I hate that guy.
Can you all see
how
this comment right
2013
here?
through 2019 brought us all so much joy. What are you talking about?
Buddy, I stopped collecting the line. Buddy, I was out after 2017 or 2018.
Yo, watch the video we made on Dark Age.
Also, right here, buddy, want to wake up from being under a rock, because Mr. Stevie's back. He's been back. So.
This guy, I've had so many run. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to give him a shout out or anything, but I've had so many run-ins with this guy. I'm pretty sure I just blocked him. The fact that he like capitalizes every other word in a sentence. I just imagine him talking and then shouting and then talking really quiet, because he's just unhinged in everything he says.
But for the good news for us, yeah. So Yakface said, I have a lot of thoughts regarding today's Star Wars fan stream, and my brain is having trouble sorting things in order to write something coherent and worth reading. I'm torn. Do I care too much about the direction of the brand, or is it time to let go? Fortunately for us, he is going to be on Black Series Cantina next Friday. So join the Patreon. You can join live and listen in, or you can get the audio podcast the following weekend. So you have
And
to
he
wait
also
week,
made a
but-
great follow up to this.
He did.
And then that one is scrolling up. Oh, right here. So he says, I originally was going to write a long article applying the 5 stages of grief of the current state of Star Wars toy collecting, but after collecting my thoughts on the subject for a couple of days, it boiled down to me reminding myself of these things. Number 1, buy what you like, pass on what you don't. I agree. 2, natural selection will weed things out that are not successful. Truly successful toy lines endure because of character selection, quality, and value. Faltering in any of these 3 areas can lead to apathy and spending our shrinking dollars elsewhere. 3, don't take this hobby so seriously as to where it's not fun and more of a chore. I agree with that, but
Agreed.
it's weird that he came to this conclusion after a couple like really negative posts. That's kind of been my mindset, and I know like our mindsets for a while. Like even if I see something I'm not a big fan of, you know,
Yeah,
I
number
don't
one
like I
there
don't
is, like, the
contemplate
golden
like
rule.
Yeah, I feel like when people see something they don't like, they take it as like a personal insult, which is just wild to me. That's a wild reaction.
Which is why people get the impression that, like, so our channel, Nate does the reviews on our channel. He's not going to buy a figure that he knows he's going to hate. So, like, I think people get the impression that we like everything. Like, that's kind of a thing that some haters use is, oh, they're just like basement babies. They're hitting the pellet feeder for another pebble, you know, the little gerbil feeder. But we pass on tons of stuff because what Yak is saying here, buy what you like, pass on what you don't. I've never bought a credit collection figure. I pass on almost all carbonized figures, and I just don't dwell on
Nate passed on Ahsoka Padawan because he just doesn't like her.
That's right.
Yeah.
I skipped right over it.
what a figure this is too. Maybe we should do a segment later on talking about how, like, look at the details in the back of it, like the shoulder. You can see the shoulder blades sculpted in.
Right?
But absolute top tier figure.
Yeah.
What did I do to deserve this?
Right. But this post resonated with me because the negative reaction kind of got to me. I was a little bummed out for a day or two there. And then, you know, we filmed Figure It Out, and I was listening back to the episode on Friday, and it just really, like, it sounds stupid to say I agree with myself. Like, that just doesn't sound smart.
I'm really
to say.
smart. I'm really.
But
I am so prolific.
just listening back to that episode, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm fine. I'm chilling with my destroyer droid. And even if I buy 20 figures this year, I'm chilling. If I buy 50 figures this year, I'm chilling. If I buy 70, I'm chilling.
Yep.
I'm just going to get the ones I want.
Yep.
I
It's
don't
all
know.
plus. If you only buy 20 figures this year, think of all the money that you saved and you can spend other things. That's great. If you get 80 figures this year, think of all the cool figures that you have that you can enjoy. Like, it's all about how you see it, how you spin it. If you only get 20 figures, like, I really wanted to buy more and I'm mad that I didn't. Like, that is the wrong mentality to have in a hobby like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also really think number 3 on Yak Face's post is very important as well. Just like not taking the hobby so seriously.
I feel like people take Star Wars too seriously in general.
Absolutely, but it's just crazy to see such like insane reactions to little plastic, toys.
Yep, they're toys.
Like when I see a figure I don't like or it's a character I'm not interested in, I'm like, oh, all right, not for me.
And that's
And
not to say
then
passionate.
right.
Obviously, we're all passionate.
Yeah, but I mean, there's obviously a line, and I think that goes without saying that there's a line between being like, oh, you know, I don't like this for X, Y, and Z. But more often than not, it's typically just loud, baseless, you know, claims that people are just making stuff up, or it's how they feel. It's not how it is, it's how they feel.
How they feel. And they latch more onto their feelings than the fact. What is the facts don't care about your feelings? Is that it? Like the
Black Series
fight we got
collector now.
into. Yeah. Like the fight that we got into with that person, me and Zach, where like they're like nothing new came out today. It's all repack and repaint. And I'm like, they literally showed off a Droideka and a Thrawn.
Yeah, every
Those
piece of
two
that
things
Droideka is
are
new.
100% new. Like there's no reuse. And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, or that they were like, I don't know what it is, but they were like, oh, you just lashed onto 2 things. I'm like, we only had there were only 3 things I cared about, and 2 of them were brand new. So for me, that's a win. Like if you're looking at the overall thing, there were still 3 brand new reveals out of what, 10, 11. That's still a pretty significant a percentage of things being brand new, 100% new, where you can't say there was nothing new, because that's just factually incorrect.
Well, I think I retweeted his specific quote where he said it was something like not one single thing is new. And I just posted a picture of the Droideka and was like,
What? Yeah.
like it's not a repaint of the 1990 Power of the Jedi or whichever version it is.
And that's wild. The amount of people I've seen bring that up, like the person on your Discord who is like, wow, it looks like I was expecting them just to repaint this. The fact that you think
Like a separate line.
the fact that you think that Hasbro even still has the mold for that is bonkers. There is a 0 chance that Hasbro has the mold from 2000 for
And they've
anything.
never done that with Black Series. And I wouldn't be surprised if they'd never done that ever. Like a completely separate line from 20 years ago. You think they're just going to release that in the Black
Now,
Series?
what if we all just looked over at our shelves and our farm boy Lukes were like jacked, and we just never noticed? We were like, wait, they have been using the same sculpts
the whole time.
The closest we've gotten in Black Series is the little triangle stands that they're using in Marvel Legends now.
Ooh.
True.
The little clear ones. That's the
Or that
closest
one
we've
time-
gotten.
That's because
The
Black
one-
Series is trendsetters. Even though
or-
Marvel Legends had photoreal first and pinless joints first, but
Or that one Indiana Jones figure that used the legs from the.
Oh yeah,
Was it Donovan? It was Donovan. He used Veers' legs. Well, it's the same character. It's the
because
same dude.
it's Veers, it's Indiana Jones Veers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
But
sometimes
that's it.
sometimes I do wish, only in those moments of like the super like negative outrage moments, I wish that like sometimes we weren't so involved in the community.
Yeah.
And I just want to like step back and just be a fan and not have such online presence. But that's what the channel is. And that's why I'm not ashamed to say, yeah, we're super hyped on these reveals, because that's the truth. Like that's genuinely how we feel.
And also the bottom line, the negativity is kind of good for engagement. So TikTok views go up
That's not-
whenever
that's
whenever
not the
it's
engagement I
negative, so.
want, though. That's not the engagement I want. And I know, like, and some people, engagement is engagement, and that's how they grow their views and all that stuff. But I don't want to build something through just being mad at everything. Like,
Right.
I don't have the energy for that.
Well, I'm not mad. I just post stuff, and then whenever people are mad, it makes stuff go up. So.
Yeah. I'm very thankful for our community. Like the Out of the Basement community, we rarely get super negative comments, like hater comments and stuff like that. So I'm really happy with the community we have. But I do think it's annoying because a page like Yakface, that should be like just a community, space for us to geek out about the stuff that he's rumoring or the reveals. But it's dominated all the top comments always super, super toxic, negative. And it's just annoying to see. So, yeah.
And again, there's nothing that says you can't have your opinion. Like, you don't have to like everything, and we're not saying that you should like everything, because there are things that
I'm
we
just
don't
like, why are you still here?
Yeah, it's all about how you express that opinion. You could be passionate and focus that passion into something more productive than just raging online about something that you don't like constantly.
When it comes to just action figures in general, there are more good action figures than bad action figures out there.
Fact.
Why not take that energy from the thing you think is bad and focus on something that you do like, that you do really enjoy, that's still an action figure? I feel like
It's not politics. It's not politics. It's not paying your taxes. It's a hobby. And
Do you think a
one
part of
the
it?
biggest,
Go ahead.
I think one of the biggest mysteries that I just can't wrap my head around is why people stay. There are a handful of creators, even. I'm not going to name any names, of course.
Name them all.
This is a family-friendly podcast.
I'm naming them.
There are a few Instagram creators who just like, they will say something like, not you, Zach.
No.
They will say something along the lines of, F this team, I am done. This is the last shot because Blackseriescantina is too short, even though he's actually to scale.
Even though he's not.
With on-screen.
There's definitely some maniacs out there. That's for sure.
And then like a few posts later, they'll post the entire wave that they're paying to get early, and they're like, "Wow, look at this wave! It's actually pretty nice." But then the next post will be, "I'm done with this. I hate this."
And then 4 months later, it's like sitting on their shelf. They're giving a little.
Yeah, I'm like,
I love it when people trash talk Hasbro while they're sitting in a room.
You know what it
Hasbro
is, Mike?
Products.
I've had an epiphany. You know what it is, and sometimes I wish I could just go no holds barred, but I can't. But there's a very large creator here on YouTube, and there's a few big ones who use this rhetoric, and I think they have it in their heads that let's say there's two collectors, right? Collector A are some of these bigger channels that just don't make sense to me, that spend a lot of their money on Hasbro products, right? Collector number 2 also spends a lot of their money on Hasbro products. Collector 1 complains while they're doing it, and that makes them an intellectual. Collector 2 enjoys it, and that makes them a blind consumerist shill who will just gobble up anything, and they're defending a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and ooh, they just love it so much. Shills. But if you complain while you spend a bunch of your money on Hasbro products, that makes you an intellectual. It's like the man isn't getting to you because I'm complaining. Ooh, Kiwi had something to say about that right there. Oh my god.
Cameo.
She agrees.
Yeah. But it's just, I'm like, we're doing the same thing, buddy. We're both spending, like, you're surrounded by Hasbro product, just like I am. But the difference is I like it, and I enjoy doing it.
Right? Right?
One of my favorite things is whenever, because you all have a very positive channel like that you all have created. You all enjoy the line, enjoy collecting. But whenever you all dislike one figure, there's comments under your videos where they're like, you all are so negative every time.
Yeah.
Like we have 12 positive videos in a row. We don't like one figure, and then now we're haters.
It never fails. It literally is one of those things where
We're not afraid to call out Hasbro on their mistakes.
you're right. I mean, it's, I'm not going to let Paz Vizsla slide.
Yeah.
Even though I still bought the figure. Like, again, that's another. Yeah, pre-Vizsla. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, Paz Vizsla is also inaccurate too, and it's getting a re-release, and that's kind of bogus. But
Yeah.
I didn't realize how inaccurate his helmet was until recently. Like, he's got vents on the front of it that the actual model doesn't. And I feel like that's something they could have easily fixed. Even the removable helmet version with the John Favreau face. That's something they remolded. Like, they had to make that helmet. but it still has the inaccurate vent on it. And again,
Yeah.
I'm not ranting or raving about it, but it is inaccurate.
Mm-hmm. But it just goes back to, I think, like what we were saying earlier, like you can criticize something, you can still buy something and criticize something, but there's a difference between criticizing it and just like, having an aneurysm about it.
Correct.
And still willingly buying it and making the choice to continue being in the hobby that you hate.
Yeah.
Do you think some of it is like if you're being positive about something and then they don't like it? Do you think part of that negativity they have is seeing someone that likes something that they don't, where they like stop liking something that I don't like, kind of thing?
I mean, it could be that it'd be an extremely childish outlook, but
That's like Star Wars fandom
I mean,
in a nutshell, though.
I mean,
Right.
Try being a sequel lover.
I was gonna say,
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should maybe move into something a little more positive for the
let's do it.
podcast. We've been kind of down in the dumps for a little bit on the podcast, talking about the fan reaction. So I did kind of want to ask you all. We are discussing, but we're discussing like a.
it was a big event
negative-
that happened.
Yeah,
It was a big
event, yeah.
community event.
But I think we got to be a little more uplifting a little bit.
Yeah, lift me up, Zach. Lift me up.
All right. I did kind of want to talk to you about your highlights from 2023, since we're still in January. So I feel like we're relatively new. I
February
know.
1st today.
Oh, crap. It is. Yeah, we are at February 1st as of this recording, but
I had to
it's
pay
still
rent
early in the
today.
year. So
Right.
what were some of the out of the basement highlights for Star Wars Black Series? Maybe that weren't in your top 10, because I'm sure everybody's seen that video.
Oh,
But I got to put you under, on the spot.
Yeah.
can I say one thing about something that was in our top 10?
Yes, you can
Two
throw at
things.
least one of them.
Two things.
Okay, I'll
from
give
the
you
top
two.
10 that
I'll give
we
you
have
two
to
things in the top
mention.
10.
One,
Three things that
actually,
We're just
10
gonna get to
things.
10. Yeah.
Okay, one is Malgus. I want to get Malgus. Nate, you get R2. So Malgus is like an enigma. It's an anomaly because Malik and Bastila had an excuse to get into the line with that KOTOR remake.
Mhm.
Mara Jade was in the publishing line, so that's like high reuse. Malgus, completely unrelated and disconnected from new media, and got a 100% brand new sculpt and was figure of the year. That just like blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like Malik and Bastila are great, but it's like KOTOR, the remake was coming, so that's like
That made sense.
it's connected.
Yeah.
Malgus is just like out of the blue, and it was just so cool that such a niche thing, completely cut off from any relevant media, got so much love.
Yep.
Definitely a big highlight.
I think that's one of the few figures that's like sort of a unanimous top figure of the year. It seemed like every channel that was it was certainly my number one. Mike, was that your number one? Was that Malgus?
No, but he was pretty high. It was like number 2 or 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah, like I don't think I saw a list where he was outside of the top.
It was
3.
easily in top 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which in a year where we had 100 figures being released, like being top 5 is really good.
Who was your number one? Was it Doc?
I think it was R2.
Or was it R2?
R2
was-
make my top 10.
He didn't make your top 10?
No.
Doc
No,
is so good.
he's good. He's good, but he didn't make my top 10. No, but no, I think it was R2, and I think my number 1 was R2. My number 2, I think, was Mandalorian, the Glavis Ringworld one.
Oh yes, yep.
so
even though I got that one in December, I had already done my top 10, so I'm making that 2024.
So that for me, I slipped that one into that one, and I think Malgus was after that.
Nice.
But you're right, Justin. Like, what the heck? Whose decision was that? Why did they choose it? I'm not
I
complaining.
think it's Eric. He's like
I'm
the
not
champion of
complaining.
those gaming
Yeah.
figures.
Yep.
I love the Old Republic, but this was the kind of thing that would have come out in like 2013 when the game came out and was super popular. Because like Lego did sets for Old Republic at the time. I think they had the 3 3/4 inch. It wasn't vintage collection, I think, at the time. I don't remember what it was called, but whatever was the equivalent at the time did figures from it. That's why we have the Havoc Squad and Shea Vizsla, and all those came from the Old Republic. So it's crazy that in 2023, with nothing new from the Old Republic coming out, we got a gorgeous, all 100% brand new figure.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then Nate, I want you to talk about R2 and why that was so important
Please
for the
do.
line.
Well, I mean, I think most people know, but we went 10 years of not only R2D2, but all astromechs in the line being
Tough years, too.
being severely underscaled. 10 long, arduous years of having this little baby literally a Happy Meal toy, had a little toy gimmick because we got to go goo goo gaga and twist it so that the leg can come out. We can't just
I got
pull it out.
I got it right here.
There it is.
But Nate, the wheels, they took away the moving wheels.
Yeah, get those. Oh wait, the wheels that it had totally worked. Oh, they didn't. But
Remember
it
the
was
comments we were getting on that when they were like, push your finger, put it on a flat surface and push your finger on it. I guarantee the old one goes farther. I'm like, who cares?
Like,
I
I'm not gonna
don't-
sit there and do it. It's gonna sit next to my Luke. and my
I don't care.
It's going on a shelf, brother.
I'm not racing my R2s downhill to see.
You got 'em on the track.
I want to have a pull back and go feature is what I want.
I'm doing the Boonta Eve, but it's just with my R2s.
I
Yeah,
want an R2
I'm pretty upset.
two R2s as pods going on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty upset it didn't come with like the grind and the grind gear in the back to make it speed off.
They should have just made R2 a Beyblade, and you just
Yeah, one of those ripcords. Just a
just ripcord the R2. But no, so of course this new version being finally correctly scaled, we lost a few paint apps, but that's really not a big deal. But I think just overall in the grand scheme of the line, finally having R2D2 properly scaled is just so important. He's one of the main characters, and for it to be so
One of the most
inaccurate
iconic, yeah.
for so long, it was just important to get this. And of course the new features with the storage of all the accessories is great.
Oh, good.
Something we desperately needed, because R2 was awesome to have all those accessories, but then you got to worry about keeping track of them. So I think they really solved that with the storage. So I just the new R2 is just an incredible, much needed upgrade, something we've needed ever since the line began.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even think it's a hot take to say 2023. In my opinion, I feel like it's the best year of the Black Series.
I think people who've collected the line and truly have paid attention to the line should agree with that statement.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, I recall us saying that, I think, during our top 10 for sure. But as far as like things that weren't on our top 10, big improvements or like big things for the line, the new Luke wasn't on our top 10. And I love not having that doe-eyed sad boy Luke from the blue line, because that was on my shelf this entire time. And now it's not, because
Yep.
we got
Thank
a
God.
much better
Yeah.
Luke with deep cut elbows, butterfly joints, etc.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about the likeness on that one in particular, but it is still such a massive upgrade. I do also just want to say Magna Guard, I feel like, is an unjustly hated figure, and
Oh, spicy, I feel like.
got completely demolished and buried last year, and I just don't see it. I
Your
know
posing game is on another level. So your photography is just like,
I know that the warping thing was an issue. I totally get it. Like, Mike, your Magna Guard obliterated. I get it.
The leg on mine is very warped.
He's also very fiddly. He's a very fiddly figure.
But I don't even really feel like it's fiddly. Like, the only thing I feel is fiddly is the shoulder pads, which is mildly annoying, but all I do is pose the figure, then I put the shoulder pads on, and I'm like, all right, fine.
Mildly is an understatement, I will say. Those things pop off so easily. The
but
figure falls over on the desk, both shoulders pads pop off as well.
See, I disagree with you though, because I've had mine shelf dive several times, and the shoulder pads actually have not popped off.
I've been kind of considering super gluing my shoulder pads on, so they.
But then you're gonna lose. Yeah, because it's gotta have the range so you can get the shoulder all the way up there.
But if I get it in a pose, like I don't care, I'm never gonna move it again. Like it'll stay in that pose.
But from an engineering standpoint, there's some really cool stuff that they did with that figure. Obviously, it's a droid, so we know it's gonna have a little bit extra to it, but it has the forearm swivel, so you can either have up and down or left and right, which is essentially, pre-ball joint. Best case scenario without it being a ball joint. I don't know. I really feel like they nailed the Magna Guard. It's super articulated. It's super dynamic, and it's exactly what we needed the Magna Guard figure to be.
I will say, recently, Luke's here.
Probably so, Luke's.
Yeah. I will say that now that I have them on my shelf with Grievous, they look exactly how I would want them to look. They look fantastic.
Great looking, good scale, good detail.
Visually good.
I was just disappointed out of the box because, again, it's kind of a thing where I had expectations from looking at the pictures and stuff, and then getting it in hand, and it is a little fiddly. It's also a little bit more fragile than I would have wanted with some of those thin parts. Like when I was straightening out the leg that was warped, I was very careful with it because the pieces on the leg that I had to straighten out are very thin.
Yeah, I mean,
I know,
and that's fair.
Broke his,
right, and so that's totally fair.
Also,
I don't think it's a great figure, but I don't. I agree that it probably got more hate than it deserved, but I don't think it was. I wouldn't put it anywhere close to my top 10 figures of the year. Anywhere close.
Yeah.
Also, Mike, we committed a cardinal sin. We kind of overhyped ourselves, hoping that it had articulated fingers.
I agree.
And we realized that like I
said, I overhyped it. I overhyped it on and part of that's on me, but part of it is like some of those problems out of the box they're legit issues, and they are kind of annoying. And whenever you get a figure that you have to kind of figure out how to pose, it's not as intuitive. Yeah,
he said it.
You did. I did. It's
like personally, the Magna Guard would be floating like right out the top 10 for me, just because of
outside. I feel like that's high. I feel like
the boys.
I got a lot of enjoyment out of those figures, and I think they delivered on exactly what I needed. I just want some theatrical, like colored, the white ones are in the theatrical version, but I want some of the like more blue, gray, the ones that I picture in my mind's eye. That's what I kind of want out of the Magna Guard at the moment.
I am impressed. I'm impressed with how many accessories it comes with. Like you get 2 different staves. You get
two staves.
Yeah.
You get electricity for them. You get the removable headband. You get the cloak. Like there's some solid stuff going on there for sure. I just think it was just a bigger initial disappointment than I was expecting. And when I hyped it up, there was a large disparity there. But I agree, it was probably overhated.
I was just scrolling through like the figure reviews I did for 2023, and that one in particular just really stuck out.
Do you guys want to know another thing about 2023 that I think was great? They absolutely pumped the brakes on figures from The Mandalorian. And I think that is exactly... from a certain point of view, there was like no figures from. Was there? Because I know R5.
We got 6. We got 6 figures.
There's some Book of Boba Fett stuff, which is like
we got
kind of
We got Din Djarin from Morak. We got HK-87. We got the Imperial Light Cruiser Luke. We got the Mandalorian Fleet Commander and the R2 and R5 for both in Mandalorian.
Yeah, R2 is literally a Mandalorian figure.
Although you could make the case that's a New Hope figure. Like
One of the three best figures of the year is a Mandalorian show figure.
But for having 100 figures, only 6 of them are from are marketed as from the Mandalorian.
I was like,
that's pretty good. No, you're right.
I was like, hallelujah. Like that is easily, because obviously we think the line has improved over the years, especially 2020 onward. But that was like my next biggest complaint with the line was the oversaturation of figures.
All the Holocom figures were from Mandalorian, aside from Han Solo.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the gimmick stuff, I'm like, sure, yeah, whatever.
Also, for Mandalorian figures, you better buckle up because can you imagine how many figures they're going to pump out for the movie that's coming up?
But I like the Mandalorian. Like, I love the show.
Yeah, I love the show too. I just think
and I like
the movie,
the
they're going to. I guarantee they're going to do a Force Friday event for the movie.
Yeah.
And they're going to do so many figures.
They were doing like whole waves of just Mandalorian figures.
And they were like Magistrate Grief Karga. And,
all right. Pump brakes.
Now, do you think they are truly going to pump the brakes, or do you think we are just going to maybe potentially get assaulted this year with Mandalorian Season 3 figures?
I mean, if they want to do like Armored Moff Gideon and the Imperial Super Commandos, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, if they do the cool ones, then I'm down. But I don't really.
Give me a frog lady. Give me a frog lady.
I think people are getting a little mandoed out. Honestly, I really do. I think we're getting too mandoed out, and I think they really need to focus on literally anything else right now.
We'll have that answer.
OT.
We got that PT goodness coming this year.
I made room on my shelf for little Anakin and Padme.
I did the same thing.
Mine, it's right here. I've got Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and Jar Jar, and there's a spot for both of them right there.
You hear that, Black Series community? Jar Jar. Don't make that same mistake again. Pre-order Anakin and Padme if you want to see more prequel.
You cowards.
Figures. You
act like
now
we
really
like
are.
Jar Jar. I remember when the prequels came out, and I saw the reaction to Jar Jar, and I had to pretend that I didn't like Jar Jar as well because it wasn't cool to like Jar Jar. Because I was in high school and I was impressionable, and I had to be cool like everyone else. And it was already weird that I like Star Wars way more than everyone else I knew. So I had to pretend I didn't like Jar Jar, but Misa loved Jar Jar.
The other 3 of us were dumb babies at the time, so we got the free pass to love Jar Jar
because he was for you.
Eating that tongue candy.
That tongue lollipop.
I'm just like,
sucking on some Jar Jar tongue.
I just have Jar Jar's tongue in my mouth, but it's fine.
So Pletho, who's a recent VIP joinee. Justin, say what you were going to say, and then we'll try to come up with some sleeper hits.
He was talking about the Magna Guard. He was like, he commented that when we were talking about the Magna Guard. So he was like, oh, is that a sleeper hit of 23?
I'm going to say no for me personally, but I know Nate's on the other side of that fence.
I'd say
Bix Colleen is a sleeper hit. I would say Belsartha is a sleeper hit. Belsartha is actually a really
nobody
fun
bought
toy.
those.
Nobody bought them, but they were good toys. Like even if you didn't care about Andor, which I don't know why you could not care about Andor. So good.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is how those figures haven't gone on sale yet.
Right?
Weren't we all like, yeah, we're totally waiting on these, but we'll buy them when they go on sale. And it's just like nothing. Like I've had Luthen on my Amazon list for the entire year.
Me too.
And he has not dropped down below $20. And I'm like, come on.
I checked it yesterday. As of yesterday, he was 14. I was going to send it in our group chat and say I might pull the trigger, but that was as of yesterday. That's the first time I noticed he's cheaper. He's 14.28 right now. But
because I love Luthen as a character.
Yeah.
Like he's like top 5 Disney Star Wars characters, but I just can't buy the figure for some reason. I don't.
It
know.
is. It's got that like old white male, like, kind of vibe, obviously.
But I bought the client day one full price. So what's going on?
Man, 1428. That is tempting for Luthen.
Yeah, I would pick that up. But what I was gonna say about Jar Jar is I'm not a big Jar Jar fan. I don't really like Jar Jar, but I was there day one because it's A, unique sculpt, B, alien, C, prequel figure, D, not a clone trooper from the prequels. Like, that is what prequel fans who are like, Hasbro, we need more prequel stuff. We need more prequel stuff. We've been begging and begging and begging. Don't fail us now. That's all I'm going to say. It's simple supply, demand. The market is dictated by what sells and what sits. You got to support what you want to see more of. And that is why I slap pre-order on Anakin and Padme all day, every day, day one. And it's gonna be worth
Yeah, I'm looking at Hasbro's outlet right now. Mon Mothma 15, Luthien 15, Big Scaling 13.
they finally
Caspian
did go on
Andor
sale.
14.
For the longest time they didn't, and I've been watching Luthen forever on Amazon. It seems
Bell
like.
Startha $16. Bib Fortuna $15.
You know what it is, Mike? It's now we're like, that's still a lot to us because of Figure and Dan, Fifth Brother, and Ewok Village Leia all being $9.99 on Amazon. So now that's like, we're gonna wait for Figure and Dan prices, which that was also a crime, man.
Pop Blue's $15. Like, that's the price Pop Blue should have been in the first place, honestly.
Like, you're telling me Figure and Dan and Fifth Brother, like an Imperial Inquisitor, went to $9.99, but these can't.
Hold on, did we ever get confirmation that the Bib Fortuna in the 40th anniversary packaging is less blue?
It's
I think that is
the
true.
exact same.
Okay.
I thought it was true. I thought they said that in the review.
Because he's $14.91 on.
Well, I think
Hasbro
what it was, because I know on this show we were contemplating whether he was less blue from the images. I've seen it in person and it's so blue, like on the new one they did. It's so blue, and so I was like, no, I'm not getting it. It's still the same.
So I won't buy it.
Unfortunately, I wouldn't.
I won't
I don't.
buy it.
I've seen it in person, and it's just like, and Mike, you can't even see blue. So
I can't. Marvel Legends Talos is $19. So if you want to do like Ken Plume did and do a little surgery on your Director Krennic,
Chainsaw the neck off.
a better.
They totally did that to prevent the head swap.
Hey, Ken did it and it looks great. So I don't.
They
I don't know.
purposely made Balin short so they could sell more Rivas.
Yes.
hey, 6
Like,
inch,
that is
not
the-
6
That's
scale.
such a
insane
wild thing.
conspiracy
That's
theory I've ever heard.
bonkers.
I'm like, they knew Landspeeder Luke. Like, they had the
They messaged him beforehand.
They-
Like, hey,
they
go ahead and get
messaged
this
him, yeah.
ready.
Here's a tip.
They had
Here's
a
a scoop.
fortune teller, and they just knew Landspeeder Luke would make the video to swap the thighs of Riva, and that's how they got rid of those extra Rivas.
Oh,
They
man.
did.
Absolutely insanity.
It's so true.
If you want that 2-pack of Marcus Brody and Belloc, it's $20, down from $55.
I don't even know
Wow.
who the characters are.
I
do want to talk about.
Pyro Indy is 25. Ooh, he's got.
I want to talk about this figure while Justin is on the stream because I think this figure deserves its time in the light at least one more time. This Force Ghost Anakin with the Hayden head is just an absolute bright spot for Black Series in 2023. The fact that it came in a carded
Still in the
3-pack
chat.
with the appropriately canon Anakin Skywalker head Force Ghost, I will cherish this action figure forever.
I'm happy for you, Zach.
Thoughts?
You can live in your own little world.
I-
In the world of not preserving art.
I'm not gonna yuck your yum, my dude.
I'm fine with preserving art, but like they can make it its own separate thing. But the canon version is the one with the more handsome, appropriately Haydened.
Sebastian Shaw
looks
is
more like-
canon from a certain point of view.
Yeah, because when Luke Takes off that Vader helmet. There he is.
That's right.
Yes, as old Darth Vader, but as a Force ghost, he shouldn't be a 90-year-old man.
Dude, chat, he's taking the bait. Dude, chat, he's taking the bait.
Take it. Take the bait.
I love Zach. But I love Sebastian.
Overrated.
Zach hates art. It's just plain and simple.
I've never been an art kind of guy.
But you own Star Wars Despecialized on Blu-ray, but hate the despecialized editions.
Yeah.
You all are gonna like. I didn't tell you all this whenever you all came down because we plugged in the despecialized version. But if I'm watching Star Wars, I'm kind of lazy, so I never go through the trouble of plugging it up. I just turn on the Disney Plus version. I'm not even gonna lie.
Dumb.
It's just so
He actually
convenient.
went in. He actually went into the despecialized version and edited Hayden back in.
Yeah.
That would be great.
It's despecialized except for that.
Yeah, like
Oh,
my wife
man.
watching them. I'm just pulling them up on. She's seen the despecialized A New Hope once, and we cracked up at the Ewoks because you can tell they're totally just little children that don't have any clue what they're doing running around.
It's
And
beautiful.
you can see, and you can see a little less of that in the, the newer versions.
No.
I'll just watch whatever. Like they're on cable, ESB will be on cable every now and then. I'll pop it on and watch it. It's just easier not to deal with, getting the disc and you're doing all the thing we had to do in the early 2000s forever.
I mean,
It's so hard to put a disc in.
Nate and I are the last people you need to be preaching that crap to because we are physical media.
I
That's
am
why I'm
like,
talking about it to you right now.
I will literally go out of my way to get a disc, put it in, and watch it that way. Literally, I had the opportunity to watch Memento for free on YouTube. Just click it and watch it. No, screw that.
Bro.
I'm walking upstairs, grabbing the Blu-ray, walking back down the stairs, putting it in my Xbox, and watching that movie.
Native bit rate, no
Yes.
bandwidth reliance, no
Native bit rate. That's what it's all
all
about.
day, baby.
Or you
We're
just-
taking over.
Or you
We're
just
taking
have
over.
internet. You can just have good internet and you
I
find
just
it
hate it
online
when you have to
somewhere.
rewind.
You can have the best internet out there. You could have fiber internet, my brother, and that file is still compressed because guess what? When Netflix or whoever uploads it, it gets compressed. When they upload the file to their server for you to watch it,
Again,
it's
man,
already
But I don't
It's
need to watch
already
everything in
compressed.
4K. I don't need to watch everything in 4K.
No, you don't. But how about native 1080p? Because even native 1080p versus streaming 1080p, two completely different resolutions.
And on physical, they clean up the highlights, the shadows, the lighting, the saturation, the
yeah,
sound.
the Mandalorian on the 4K discs versus the Disney Plus versions is like night and day. You should really look at the comparison screenshots because it's absurd how much better the resolution is on the actual disc versions.
I
And
knew
like
that.
like Justin said, they also remastered them, and now you can see what's going on in 4K. It's
I was going
great.
to say that I knew that talking about this fabulous Black Series figure of 2023 was going to spark some type of debate on the podcast.
You start going on
Negative.
about physical media. That's when Justin and I are like the fire burns.
There's a science.
Yeah, but there's also like a remote in my hand. I'm like, oh yeah, it's right there. Click.
I used to care about
Yeah.
physical media a lot until I moved a bunch and then sold.
And then you gave up. You sold out to the man.
I got tired.
You gave up on life, didn't you?
tired of just having all my DVDs and stuff. And now I don't have them anymore. And I feel a lot better. I feel a lot lighter. I have more toys.
Except for I see a bunch of things right behind you that are much more of a pain in the ass to move.
Well, he has to deal with those. He doesn't want to deal with the
Exactly.
discs.
Movies are a breeze in comparison to figures when it comes to moving.
Yeah, they're literally just packed like so perfectly little.
You just put them in a box and you don't have to worry about it.
So for video games, do you buy the physical disc every time?
Not every time. I'm more lenient when it comes to video games. But if it's a series I love, I absolutely buy the physical copy every single time. Like Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Resident Evil, the ones I love, I'll always shell out for the physical copy.
And with streaming, licenses and contracts expire, things get moved around. So things get taken off Netflix and HBO Max and Paramount Plus. It's not really an issue on Disney Plus, but Disney also owns Fox, and they haven't put Jack. They haven't put Alien or anything like the international version. Like I know some people in Discord, they have like rated R content on Disney Plus. Like
Oh snap!
Disney Plus is sick.
There's rated R content on Disney Plus right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
They put
like Deadpool and stuff is on but
they had to add in parental controls so that parents could make it so it doesn't show up, but it's there.
Justin's talking about like Saw, like the Saw movies are on Disney Plus and
yeah, that's absurd. That is insane.
It's like there's like extreme R-rated content on Disney Plus in other countries.
They also edit out things. They edit out certain scenes and mess with things, and
that's true.
I don't know. If you own something on physical, it's yours forever. If you're on streaming, you're just paying to use it.
But
it can
also
get taken away from you at any moment.
Well, what about in 30 years when we don't even use disc anymore? You just got to buy it again.
Freaking vinyl record is booming as we speak.
Tell that to all my 8-track tapes.
I was gonna say, then it just plays into the preservation of the players themselves. It's like I collect VHS tapes, and I still have a couple VHS players. I've got a TV with the VHS still mounted in it, and all that stuff still works. And we're going on 30 years of VHS. So
one of my favorite TikTok creators right now is Matt McCarthy, who's like a comedian. He's been on some TV and stuff, but every day this year he's been doing a new VHS tape where he goes to like a bunch of estate sales and he'll buy just VHS tapes they have, or go to random stores and buy, and like he doesn't know what's on any of them, so he'll put it on.
So he just buys like blank tapes and stuff.
Yeah. Stuff that people recorded off TV, and just like the stuff that you get on there is fascinating. But my favorite part is seeing all the old commercials, because it's like a little slice of what life was like back in like 1997 or whatever. Where like I've kind of forgotten. Like I used to see this commercial 20 times a day, and I haven't seen it in 30 years, and it's kind of fun to see it again. So little stuff like that, like I agree.
That whole nostalgia side of Instagram Reels, where it's like the '90s, like oink oink.
I'm sure you've seen it, Justin, but it always pops up on the Out of the Basement recommended. But it's like a 10-hour block of Toonami with like the commercials and the shows and the actual like Toonami interludes. And I'll put that on at night.
Dragon Ball Z.
Like I'll put that on at night, and I'm just like going to bed, and I'm like, man, I just got transported back to like 2002, where I'm watching some random episode of Inuyasha. I have no idea what's going on, and I'm like, wow, it's just like when I watched it in 2002 and I had no idea what was going on. It's nice.
That's also why we collect figures, to hold on.
Yep. I think
hold on.
I think action figures and physical media go hand in hand. It is literally essentially the same thing, just slightly different.
Now I want digital streaming action figures. Just give me those NFTs they tried to do.
Literally what goes on.
Hit up McFarlane Toys, because they are still trying to make that happen.
Oh no.
I still never claimed the NFT for my LeBron James figure.
Yeah.
In the starting lineup.
I think NECA tried briefly, but got right out. But no, like McFarlane is still going. Like right now, they're like, don't you want a kick-ass digital Spawn, bro?
Nope. I don't even want a regular Spawn. I don't even want a physical Spawn, honestly.
Okay, I want a physical Spawn. I mean, I have many physical Spawns, but I'm just like, wow, they're still going. Like they're trying to make it happen. It's incredible.
Don't you want Kirby's comment here? I just noticed Kirby's comment here. Why is he throwing haymakers like this?
Yeah, Kirby.
For
I
the-
mean, I
for the-
also want.
It's facts though.
For the audio listeners, Kirby in our live chat said, "Only new Anakin you will get." Talking
Hasbro
about the Force Ghost one.
is never going to make a new Anakin because they want collectors to be forced
Shut
into
your
buying the SH Figure Arts reissues. They're secretly in leagues with Bandai.
That's
To
a
get-
I had to pay the $70 for that one.
It's the only explanation.
Yep.
someone commented that. Like if someone actually commented that, I would not be surprised.
The new Hasbro Darth Maul is just going to be the SH Figure Arts version, but cheaper.
Are you gonna get the SH Figure Arts
Top
one?
vinyl.
Because it looks so good.
So if I can catch it in stock because I missed the pre-order, I want the Maul. The Qui-Gon I think honestly looks like booty. I think the face is pretty rough.
The accessories he comes with is cool, but
Yeah.
I was definitely not in on Qui-Gon. But now it looks like if that lightsaber on the Droideka box is a Maul, I might hold off on the SH Figure Arts one. But
And I had that thought too, but at the same time, it's like I know it's not going to come with a robe, and if it does come with the robe, it's not going to have wires in it, and the SH Figure Arts one does.
Was it
So-
Luke that got that KO like third party one? That was it was like Dark Warrior or whatever. It was like all cloth goods.
Luke got that?
I think so.
was
I think
it
he
in
said
our group
that.
chat? I haven't.
I think so because he used the head on the season 7 Clone Wars head or something like that. Where like I'm like that head looks really good, but he said that the actual figure was booty. I think I don't know if
That one looked really good. Like the promo shots looked good. I didn't tell you, Mike, but I'm gambling on that weird ass Gandalf figure.
are you? Oh man,
Yeah.
I almost did you get the real hair version or the plastic hair version?
No, I'm going because if you get
to
the
go-
real
yeah.
if you get the real hair version, it comes with the fake hair version. So I'm like, it's
So
fine.
if you don't like it, yeah, you can get the other. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, you know what? I'm rolling the
I thought
dice on
about it. I
this.
thought about it.
I wish they would have done that for the Hot Toys Anakin because I would have got it. You know, the one with the actual hair.
Oh yeah, like
that
something.
looked awful.
Yeah. Or the problem is it looks good in the promo pictures, but I swear to everyone out there, it's going to look like shit when you get it.
Also,
You have
I
to brush
posted on
its hair.
Instagram and on this show we put it up the pictures of him on display. Awful. Like it looks like he got a perm. You know, it's just
Yeah.
really bad.
You have
The
to put
mi-
some styling gel in there. You gotta brush
Right.
it down. You got
Yeah. That's the thing is like, now I've never really dealt with rooted hair specifically, so I know it's a little bit different, but any figure I've ever gotten with hair on it, it's like the promo pictures looks amazing. It looks perfect. You're like, wow, this is so great. I can't imagine anything's going to go wrong. And then you get it and it's like weird and fluffy, or it's like flat in certain spots because it's been sitting in a plastic tray for who knows how long. It's not going to turn out how people think it is, and I can't wait for people to be like, "This sucks! I can't believe I spent $300." Yeah,
How much?
I don't know how.
Retail was at least. It's a hot toy and it was like a special edition, limited edition, so it's at least like $350. It has to be.
It's gonna turn into the people are gonna make videos hating on it, so they can like get a little bit of like a return on them buying it.
It's $415. Here, I'm gonna share it because it's called the Artisan Edition.
And you're telling me they couldn't even give you a second head sculpt with sculpted hair on that?
Exactly. Like this shot, like okay, sure. If it gets delivered like this,
He looks like a person. He just looks
It
like
is-
Hayden Christensen.
It is not going to look like that. There's no way in hell it's going to look like that.
Each piece is individual. Like, there's no way you're gonna be able to replicate that, right?
It's because it's gonna come wrapped. It's gonna have a piece of some sort of plastic wrapped around the head, and you're and so by nature, as soon as you get it, the hair is going to be flattened to some degree. You are going to have to spend time trying to I hope they include a brush, because you're gonna have to brush it. Like,
Damn it, Nate. Damn it.
I'm just being realistic. Like, that's what
Oh,
it's.
I'm looking at that stupid Gandalf again. I hate you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the Gandalf.
Yeah,
But-
so you go ahead.
No, it's one of those things where I know, and I wish and I hope it turns out and it does look like these promo pictures, but I just know it's not going to. It's not going to look like this out of the box. Bottom line, you're going to have to mess
there's
around
no
with the
way.
hair, and that's going to be annoying. Like, if I bought this figure for $400 and I had to play with the hair to make it look like this, I would be annoyed by that.
Mhm.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna see if we could bring it back to Black Series for a second. I was gonna ask if you guys.
Well, you think it's the Black Series podcast or something?
Black Series Cantina?
Yeah, this ain't.
You guys, someone sent the link earlier, but did you guys watch that review from Fat Boy Toy Review of the 187th and Clone Wars Mace Windu?
Oh, the first in hand shots,
Mm,
right?
Yeah, the very first in hand shots, and some people are saying the torso coloring looks different than the rest of the figure. The white.
Mm.
Oh, hold up. Let's
think I think it might be a lighting sort of thing, but
let's do a live look.
I can't judge coloring like that unless it's in person.
right.
Yeah.
Because like I've noticed with some reviewers, and I don't know if this is him or not. I'm not claiming this is what this person does, but I've noticed that some people use regular old light bulbs in their videos, so it gives it everything a yellow tinge. Because most
use warm light
lamps,
instead of
most
yeah.
ceiling lights in your house, like my bedroom right here. Well, it's not a bedroom, but is yellow light. And if you're gonna do YouTube reviews, you need to get like a fluorescent daylight white light.
What's crazy to me when it comes to like lighting with the reviews is it almost seems like depending on what the alternate clone color is will mess with the settings on my phone and like it'll make the clone look yellow or it'll make the clone look more white. But that's why I ended up switching to like the almost like blue lights when I film my reviews. They're like tinted blue.
Ooh.
But it makes the image on the phone like look more even.
So Justin, what do you say about the color of the clone?
So
what are we looking for?
the torso in between the purple, right in the smack middle. Yep, that people are saying that kind of looks different than the white on the arms. And I can kind of see it, but I just think it's a lighting thing.
I think
Yeah.
on whenever it was in the box, so that might have been that looks okay, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's try to get another shot of it maybe.
Yeah, you can kind of see it right there.
I think because if you look at the purple chest and then the purple shoulder pad, there's not a whole lot of light hitting the shoulder pad. I feel like the chest has a big bright light going right to it. I feel like it's just a light hitting it really strong.
Mhm.
But it's definitely
I
something.
think
to
it
keep
looks
an eye out
good.
for.
I mean,
yeah.
I prefer the 2023 for the clone. I mean, you see those tiny little shoulder pads, shoulder armor. Not gonna lie, but still a pickup. I love the purple.
Yep. And Mace looks sick too.
Yep.
I wonder if the Mace arms are the same arms from the Tartakovsky Mace. The lower arms.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he has those gauntlets, does he?
Yeah, he's
Let me look.
he's got
have
The
gauntlets.
traditional.
He doesn't have gloves though. He doesn't.
he doesn't have gloves, but he has
The
gauntlets.
hands are different, but no, I think they're different because he has like a little poof coming out of it.
Yeah.
Whereas that looks more straight down.
Nice. I had that thought.
Hard-hitting analysis on the Black Series
Yeah,
Canteen.
I just
That's right.
I had this right here because I'm taking it off my shelf.
That kind of sucks because if I would have known this Clone Wars one was coming out, I would have kept the Tartakovsky version on
in
card.
package,
Card,
100%.
Yeah, because I do not need the Tartakovsky version on the shelf. Just like the Grievous I bought, that's on card because I don't need it on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
The only one I needed on the shelf was the ARC Trooper because he looks phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But
Look at those
I wish
neat
I would have kept the Mace
I
on.
do like this figure.
I mean, it's a great figure, but I just feel like it doesn't match anything on the Clone Wars shelf. Also,
But we are about to be able to be in a position where we can have that Mace Windu posed with a super battle droid punching the shit out of it.
That is so true.
Speed bag and a super battle droid.
Such a ridiculous, like,
It is not. It is so good.
listen, if every Jedi could do that, why did they even need clones?
Shut up, Mike. You're ruining my 2D
Mace
Clone
Windu-
Wars love.
Because Mace Windu is one of the most powerful Jedi, and they all can't do it.
Then why did he
like
need
him.
clones? Why did he even need a clone battalion if he
Why
is
not?
a
They got-
clone
He has a
battalion?
purple lightsaber, so he needs purple
He,
clone
he
troopers.
doesn't need them. He can just do that. He could take out
He needs to sleep.
himself.
He needs to have his rest.
He just needs to take a little swig of that drink and toss it to that little kid out of nowhere.
So Nate, are you going to army build SPDs, the clean version, to line them up around?
Yeah. You're gonna see one of my shelves is gonna be completely wiped clean. It's only gonna be like 700 super battle droids and just the one Mace Windu in the middle. I'm down.
Yeah, that would be wild. Let's see what that would cost. What's the $24.99? 700. You'd have to spend $17,500.
I got that.
For that-
That's
for that.
that's no
Easy
problem. I got
Easy
it.
bro.
peasy. You got this.
That's next month's YouTube payment.
That's right.
Right. For real.
JK. Just kidding. Want to make that.
No, it's
super
it's
clear.
that and your Hasbro payment for a shilling.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Don't
The
forget.
Hasbro check's clearing next
That's-
week. Don't worry.
That's why we get paid in shillings.
Yeah.
When I run out of filament in my 3D
Yeah,
printer.
that's right.
Filament.
Literally, like, we are shills for Lance Speeder Luke, though, because I feel like my room is just like Lance Speeder
That
Luke.
would imply that Lance Speeder
Just
Luke
like-
pays us instead of the opposite, where we pay him
True.
money.
It's just like, well, it's more of like, it's not like shilling for him. It's like a memento
You're
for
worshiping.
Luke.
You're
I'm
hawking.
worshiping Luke.
Yeah, you have a shrine. You have a Lance Speeder.
Yeah, but I have a Lance Speeder Luke shrine. Just like, I look over
what you
here.
Yep.
Mhm.
All Lance Speeder. I have
My
one
phone-
thing that's printed from not Lance Speeder Luke, and it's the Hoth turret. And I will never print that thing again because it was like, I love. I can't even think of the creator who created it, so I'm sorry right now off the top of my head. But that thing was
In
so.
condition.
I think it was in print, but it's a beautifully designed item. But I feel like Luke makes things so easy and laid out. This thing, there were so many different parts to print, and I had to put it all together. And like, it wasn't exactly clear on how to do the flap at the top where he's coming out of, so I had to figure out a way. I just took like a loose piece of filament and slipped it through a hole so I could get that to work. But like, I don't think I'll ever print something that's not from Luke again, because that was almost like hell, going through hell to print.
Yeah, I mean, I love Luke's files.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Like, Mike, whenever I told you could pick one item like to print for Christmas, I was praying you weren't going to say the Hoth turret, because I do not want to print that thing again.
No, I'm so happy that I got the Jabba the Hutt thing.
Well, even
It's
next
part-
year, you're not getting the Hoth turret. I'll tell you
no,
that
I don't.
now.
I won't that. But honestly, that getting that together and clearing out my shelf, because I had a bunch of junk on there, is what like spurred me into redoing all my shelves. So it's been fantastic. And my phone thinks that I'm absolutely obsessed with Luke, because it does this thing where it suggests pictures on one of my little widgets. Like, look at this picture. I have one picture of me and Luke that we took together when I met him back at Star Wars Celebration in 2022. And I see that picture of the two of us like 4 times a day. It keeps showing
your
me-
wallpaper.
Show it on stream.
I'm not going to do that to Luke, but it is. I'm like, why does it keep showing me this picture of me and Luke? It's so weird.
That is a precious photo. If it's the one I'm thinking, of, I remember seeing it and being like, how
Oh,
nice.
that's what Luke looks like.
Is it time to play some videos from ICCCon now?
Yep.
No, it's probably about time.
Hold
to
on,
go online, honestly.
let me.
Bro.
I could just go back in the group chat and just pull it up and share it on the. It
Let's
ain't
go.
happening.
Hey, I have
Let's-
a few Trulies. What can I say?
I think we all did.
We can recreate it this upcoming October.
Let's recreate it on Lazy Sunday one day.
Oh, I'm so down.
Did I just
We
hear
got to
out of
create a
the basement
Patreon
video?
tier, like a $200 Patreon tier.
Yeah, which it's another thing. We all are going to ICCC. Everyone on this stream right now is going,
Oh, we are?
Facts.
Okay.
including Mike.
Wow.
Yeah, Justin's personally paying for your flight.
Wow. So generous.
Because Mike, we need to snuggle. Remember?
We do need to snuggle. You're right. We need to snuggle. We'll get some snuggle.
Yeah.
time in.
Yeah. I gotta switch. I gotta switch beds this year. Justin's a bed hog.
Oh, I was
That's
stretched out by
honestly-
myself, drunk as hell. Like, I was good.
When
just
is it
ditch-
this year? Is it in October?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's normally in
October
like April
3rd,
or
4th,
May,
and
but
5th? Insane.
And they
I might
switched
be able to
it.
go, honestly.
And they switched it to a hotel because they couldn't secure the fairground thing.
yeah. And I went the year before you all went. I went alone, and it was at the hotel, and it's so small and cramped compared to the big,
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
fairground area they had
Mhm.
that year we all went, and it's still a good time. It's definitely just more, it's more shoulder to shoulder for sure. Like the it's kind of neat though because the celebrities don't like the big celebrities like the Clone Wars people. They had Ashley Eckstein and some of the other voice actors like James Arnold Taylor and Matt Lanter there the year before you all went. They had their own separate room, but people like the guy that we had a conversation with from Daredevil, he was just in the hallway. He wasn't in like a separate room.
Yeah.
And the guy who played, is it Veers, right?
Yeah.
He was just in a back hallway, and he said he'd never come again because he was like in a hallway around the corner where no one could see him. Yeah, he
Poor
was like,
Grand Maester.
complaining about that. Yeah. So, so you're a little closer to those kind of people, but you're still far away from like you got to go in a special room for Ian and all that. But the smaller people, you're like shoulder to shoulder with.
I'm still excited to go again this year. So if you're listening, go this year. We're
We're gonna miss Wilbon though. Wilbon's probably not gonna be able to make it.
What?
As inconvenient as it sounds, apparently his friend has like a predetermined like a wedding date that day, or his cousin or something, so he can't make it. Like the one weekend he wouldn't be able to travel.
Damn.
I'm actually, I know this won't mean anything to Mike, but I'm going to Nashville this weekend with my wife, and I'm telling her like I don't care how far Papa Turnley, what's it called, Papa Turnley? I don't care
Papa
how far
Turney.
we're driving.
Go. You gotta go. You gotta see Papa.
I'd go again.
I'll
Dude.
FaceTime. That food was so good. I'm gonna FaceTime y'all and be like, hey, we're the Star Wars guys. Remember us?
Yeah, I bet Papa would remember us if we went.
Yeah.
If we went back and we were like, we're the Star Wars guys.
If it was like
If-
the whole group again,
Oh yeah. I might if I see him, I might be like, hey, I was part of that like 15-person Star Wars group.
because he seemed like he had never seen anything like that before in his entire life.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah, that was
massive
awesome.
group of people in like Star Wars
Shirts and gear,
Yeah.
and he even gave us a shout out when he was singing. He was like, "Hey, give a applaud to the Star Wars friends over here."
Yeah, right.
I
I
remember
think
that.
he'll definitely remember that for sure. I mean, we did give his business a lot of money that day, so
Well worth
Pretty
it.
excited
Money,
about that.
money well spent.
well worth.
that was really really good. But yeah, I'll let you all know if I'm able to make it to that fine establishment. So, shameless plug to Papa Turney's or Turleys. I can't Turnleys.
I think it's Turnies.
It's so
Turney,
funny.
Papa Turney's.
It's so funny, like how many times we've mentioned that place over the past year. I'm like, so random.
I mean, it was so good.
Little
Like,
does he know we've been plugging the shit out of his restaurant last year.
I'm so glad that you spelled it because I.
Well, you can't curse because you're on Apple Podcast, right?
Oh, we absolutely.
No, we can.
Well, we try not to do it in the first half hour just so we avoid some flags. But usually at the end of the episodes, they're kind of flowing a little more. We start talking about.
Anyone that's hanging on this long is a hardcore fan of ours, like a listener. Shout out to the people still listening to the podcast. Woo!
There's gonna be some Apple Podcast employee, and they're gonna be like, "I'll show you."
Ban
the episode.
We probably should wrap it up.
It wouldn't be the first time I've had something banned, unfortunately. So I don't know.
That's right.
It's a custom podcast. It's okay.
You should have really played that angle up, like banned on Instagram.
Yeah, right.
Hasbro shut me down.
I should have played into it a little harder than I did. Maybe I'll make a TikTok video
How many
like 1 year
followers
ago
are you up
today.
to now?
Yeah.
Let's do a live check-in. My Instagram reels have been popping off. I've been
You
getting a lot
passed
of
us already.
It's been going crazy. Like I think you got to do Instagram reels, because I had one Instagram reel that got like over 200,000 views, so I got a lot of followers from that.
It's kind of funny because they're like, "Yay, we have more Instagram followers than Zach." It was just like when Robo switched to their personal channel, and they're like, "Out of the Basement has more subscribers than Robo for 5 days."
That's awesome.
Yep. And never mind.
I'm at 3785 on Instagram, and on TikTok I'm at like 18.6 thousand. So I'm a TikTok creator these days.
Damn.
I'm only like 400 behind Out of the Basement on my Instagram. Yeah.
Nice.
My Instagram's been blowing up lately, and I don't know why, honestly. It's been really weird. But like I posted a picture of that Heir to the Empire Luke custom I made last October, and every day it gets like 30 likes. It's up to like 11,000 or 12,000 or 1,200, sorry. Likes. No, not 1,000. That's crazy.
This I'm not going to play the sound from it, but this was the reel I posted, and it has 315 or 316,000 views.
Damn.
So that's kind of where most of my followers came from, is this video right here.
I like that.
So you got to post some reels, and then one will pop off.
Post some reels.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Oh, just kidding. I have like 1,000 more than you guys. I missed the 3 in front of mine instead of the 2.
We're
You're little
coming
babies
for you.
again. You're little babies again.
Even though
Luke is the king now, though.
Well, no, you guys are almost going to
Instagram.
pass me in subscribers for YouTube. So
is that so? What are you at? You're at 17 something, right?
17,895 right now.
Whoa.
896. 896. Just popped.
896.
Yeah, let's see. Land Speeder is at 17.8 and Mike is at 17.8.
So,
Oh,
Land Speeder Luke's fighting. Yeah. Land Speeder Luke gets a
Isn't it crazy how
well-deserved crown there.
like
Yeah.
True.
just sprung up.
No, it's
Like
not
it's
crazy.
amazing to see. I mean,
He's a
crazy
YouTube
at all.
plant.
it is crazy. Like it's crazily awesome. Like people
Yeah.
don't blow up that fast, and it's just a testament to like the work he does.
It's the power of editing. It's like the power of shooting something in very high quality and editing it really well and having a nice soothing voice.
It's the
this-
voice.
This last quarter of the stream really has turned into just gushing over Luke. And I'm here.
I
for
love
All
Luke.
Luke stands. We're all Luke
I
stands.
love Luke. I love Luke.
Luke and Papa Turney's
love
we're
Luke.
standing hard right now, and for Force Ghost Hayden.
all right.
Do you really like the Luke?
Well, I think we're gonna end it on that note. Oh, look, Lance Peter Luke chiming in the chat. Look at that.
We're just
I
going to
think
make
we're
it up to him for not inviting him on.
Well, you know, we had Luke on recently, so we needed
We
we
did.
kind of decided that 3 guests was too many, because last time we had the full show
It's too
squad on,
much. Yeah.
it was a lot of voices for the audio podcast.
Yeah.
But for your all's show, like just a live stream, it's
Yeah, the streams can just go full chaos.
yeah. I was kind of thinking I was playing a video game lately, and just like a random thought happened. You all should do like a really crazy stream. Well, I know you all had the party stream, and I had to miss out on that one, unfortunately. But you all should have one where there's literally like 20 people at the same time, and it's just chaos, though.
Well, they cap it. They cap it on.
Yeah, it's
stream,
10.
So we have
is it
the
10?
maximum.
Yeah,
Or was it 12?
I thought it was 10.
I think,
Do,
'cause I
like-
think it's even rows, so it's like 4 rows of Earth, 3 rows of 4. I don't know.
4 and
Yeah, I
3.
don't know.
Yeah, you all should just do the max, and everybody's on at the same time, and I think it'd be an amazing.
And everyone talks at the exact same time.
We can do the
Yes.
entire ICC con group that goes.
Dude,
Or-
let's
I know
do it.
a couple people might have to be left out, but
Yeah, they should give us a big ass panel.
right.
Do they know who we are, Nate?
Yeah,
We
Excuse me.
We had like
Put
the
me
most.
right next to Ian.
Look, for the people who weren't like mega famous, we had the most watched YouTube or stream from ICC Con last year.
that's facts. That's facts right there.
I was looking at the watch list, and we were up there with like the Daredevil guy.
Oh, you
I
mean
think
the
that-
Facebook stream?
Yeah, the Facebook stream. We had the most views outside of people like Ian, and we had more views than the voice actress for Sabine, like some of those people. Like we were up there.
Because I spammed the Discord. I tagged everyone. And I was like,
hmm
click this freaking Facebook
Yep.
link right now.
I put it in
Yeah.
I put it in my Instagram story and TikTok and our Black Series Cantina Facebook page. So we had a lot of people in there. Luke had the best stream though. He was absent.
Yep. They're like, yeah, we're gonna give him a panel.
Yeah.
Where's he at?
So I think we're gonna end it. So big thank you to Out of the Basement, Nate and Justin, me and Mike. We love you guys personally, and
We do.
as,
Love you guys.
as
We
Friends.
love you.
Mm-hmm.
So do you all have anything you want to plug? Like I know you all just did a Pike Soldier review.
Yeah.
Anything you want to
Check
get
out-
there?
Check out the Pike Soldier review. I know it's not the most interesting figure in the world, but just watch the review anyway.
Yeah. We've had a lot of our content that usually brings a lot of new people in. So a lot of top 10 stuff, kind of like end of December, beginning of January type stuff. Black Series Awards, top 10 of 2023, top 10 of all time. We've been doing the entire saga wish list, movie by movie, and we just finished Return of the Jedi. So we did episodes 1 through 6.
Mm-hmm.
Nate does the reviews. I edit Figure It Out. And the bangers that we do bangers and blunders. We have some new ideas for that.
Which for the
Live
UK for UK people, it doesn't mean sausages.
True. Yeah.
Although it
apparently.
can also mean sausages.
Yeah. I had to explain that in the comments the other day. I was like, banger is slang for just something really cool over here in the States. But we also live stream every single Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time. That we call them Lazy Sunday live streams, where we cover any Black Series news that we missed on Figure It Out. Recent pickups. That's our version of Fine Editions. Recent pickups. And whatever else we feel like doing.
Where's your mug? Where's your mug?
Oh, it's right here.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I mean the good one.
Yeah, I ordered. What's funny is I
the
ordered
good one.
a Black Series Cantina mug off of your guys' merch store, which is Spring, which is the same merch store that we use, like the same service.
Yeah, Teespring.
I ordered it December 31st, 2023, and I still don't have it, and it is now February 1st.
Well, that's just it's in such hot demand. You pre-ordered it, you just didn't realize it.
You're probably
did
just gonna
ship,
scalp it anyway.
It did ship. Yeah, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it.
Hey, can I sign it next time I see you in person? Can you bring it?
Dude,
I just
do
want
you
to
guys
color
think-
the inside in marker so you can't drink out of it.
So people have been starting to ask us to sign the prizes for the monthly giveaway thing, and I'm just like, I'm just a guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm
I
just
told
a
Wilbon
random
I was
dude.
gonna sign the window of figure he won, or we gave to him, but I ended up not.
Like
I thought
Nate
it'd
and I,
be a funny gag though.
yeah, Nate and I just sent out a giveaway winner because we do a monthly giveaway for our $4.99 channel members,
Mm-hmm.
and it was going to Ireland, and they were like, "Can you sign the box, like the figure?" So we got the Sharpie paint pen,
That's awesome.
and we just signed the window. I'm like, I didn't work on this figure.
Yeah, I wanted to put the phrase "I had nothing to do with this figure" and then my name. Just to be clear, I had no involvement in this.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, let me be clear. There's no super packs.
Mike, do you have any upcoming videos? Anything you want to plug? Where can people follow
Nope.
you on the social?
Yeah, I mean, you can subscribe to my
Nope.
channel. You can subscribe to my. I've just been busy at work. I haven't had a lot, and I made the mistake of restarting Final Fantasy VII Remake because the new one's coming out. So all my free time, I should be making videos. I've been playing video games. So
Nice. Yeah.
I
that's
feel
what
that.
I make that,
Mike,
and
you're
I've
one of
been
the
redoing my
OGs.
toys. Thank you.
You're one of the Black Series OGs. We've been subscribed since like 2K subs.
Aw,
We
so
love
nice
it.
of you. Thank you.
We don't need constant conveyor belt of content from Mike Case.
Well,
He's got
and
his cred.
I make a bi-monthly podcast. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called Black Series Cantina.
I think it's a solid one.
Yeah, I listen to it all the time at work.
Yeah.
Now, am I going to
Heck,
listen to myself now?
I was gonna say, are you gonna listen to this? Because usually I put it up first thing on Friday morning for you specifically.
For me,
Sunday.
because you know, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Because I
It's
know
just-
you wanna. Yeah.
I have a very like busy work oriented
Yeah.
part of my job in the old office. So I love just putting videos and podcasts on. And the Black Series
Sure.
Cantina podcast is an absolute staple of my playlist for that.
But yeah, I got Instagram, I got TikToks, but I'm not working on anything specific. Mostly because I've been playing video games and been redoing my shelves, and I just don't feel like making videos when my shelves are a mess. Like it's just my brain can't function like that. And it looks like Zach's headphones died. That's
You
always
like
on
my
one
Mando
side.
figures that all fell like
Yes.
3 months ago, and I just
When was it? Last Wednesday night when I was on a toy kind of mood, we had an earthquake like midstream,
Oh,
where I'm like, holy shit! Like everything's shaking. Like, what the hell?
oh my gosh.
My wife texted me. She's like, "Did we just have an earthquake?" I was like, "Yep." It's weird.
Ismail, can you hear me?
Plates be
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, AirPods died. We've gone that.
AirPods died. We went too long because AirPods died.
That's how we know we've gone. We've gone the distance.
So everybody, be sure you subscribe to Out of the Basement on YouTube and follow their socials
Yep.
on Instagram.
Thank you.
For me, you can follow me on Instagram at Black Series Cantina. You can follow me on TikTok. That still has the classic at the Star Wars Black Series. Join our Patreon. We have a $2 tier, $5 tier, $11.38 tier, and we do not offer a VIP tier right now, but we may in the future. You never know. And next week we're gonna have Yak Face on. So if you're a Patreon member at the 11.38 tier or higher, you can join us live for that. But if you normally rely on the audio podcast, you'll get that a week later on our regularly scheduled drop. If you cannot support us, yeah, I'm really hyped for that. If you cannot support us financially, we still appreciate you listening and interacting on socials and all that. But just please leave a review. We got some great reviews that Mike sent me on text.
We
actually
did.
recently.
Yeah.
So that's another great way to support the podcast. Also, you can buy merch. Like I have a Fine Edition shirt, and I know Nate and Justin have some Black Series Cantina apparel. So they would recommend as well. Get a nice pint glass. Look how sick that is with two logos, a dual logo pint glass. Doesn't get any better than that. Follow us on Twitter. You can see how we get into some bickerments with randoms. That's at TBS Cantina. Join our Facebook group. We have some great very positive community on Facebook that we've built. So I'm proud of that. It's literally just Black Series Cantina. You have to answer 2 questions to get in. Most people don't answer the questions. I still let them in because why not? Email us.
Because they could be not real people. You know, like there's like robot accounts.
Yeah, I try to check them to make sure they're like an actual person.
Yeah, we get those
let
in the
them in.
Discord too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Send us an email, blackseriescantina@gmail.com if you feel the need to do so. Well, I think that's it. Again, thank you guys for joining. It's always a pleasure.
course.
Also, we
Thank
were on
you.
their Lazy Sunday stream not too long ago, so go listen to that if you want more Mike and Zach. So yeah, we'll see you all next week with the Yak Face.
See you guys
Bye.
later. See you guys
Bye.
later.
Bye. No one can see.